Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. Week 16 is in the books, and Week 16 lived up to the sky-high expectations we had set for it. We had the San Francisco 49ers roll over Old Man Rivers on Monday Night Football. The Arizona Cardinals came this close to topping the Dirty Birds. We'll talk about the Cardinals going up against the Falcons. Oh, and if you missed it, the game of the year on Thursday Night Football a little over a week ago. A game that felt over until it wasn't. A game where Seattle Seahawks fans said, call an ambulance, but not for me. We'll dive into everything we saw in Week 16 on this episode of the NFC West Roundtable. On the back half of the episode, as always, we look forward to Week 17 already. My good God, we are almost done. Week 17, giving you our previews and predictions for what's to come this upcoming week. But for now, let's dive into what we just saw. Let's bring in the fellas. We have a very happy Brando. We have Mike, we have Jesse, and we got a beanie wearing Jake Ellenby with the Neon Volt Hawks beanie. Let's go ahead and give him his close-up. He is a man
nice
of
and
his
tight,
word.
Nice
I'm
and
a man
tight.
of my word.
Man of his word. Expedite shipping this time of year. Do you know what kind of man you got to be to expedite your rival's hat after a loss like that during the holiday season? Jake is a man of his word, but unfortunately,
Always will
Jake
be.
was on the wrong side of a game that felt like he should have been on the right side of it. At one point, you'd have to imagine if you looked at the ESPN FBI chart, the Rams had to have been at 99% at one point, especially when Sam Darnold had tapped the helmet the second time for his second turnover. You thought it was over. I thought it was over. I thought I was going to get some extra sleep. But little did we know we would be in store for one of, if not the best finishes in the NFL in 2025. Beginning of the fourth quarter, it's 30-14 LA. At the end of overtime, it's 38-37 Seattle to pull off the victory, improve to 12-3, and take over the top spot in the NFC West, a game that we had talked about for well over a month, and a game that really we had billed so highly that it felt as though you would not be able to meet the expectations. And for 3/4 of it, it felt like it was going to fall far short of those expectations. We wound up meeting those expectations when it was all said and done. As always, we will start with the victor in this one. Brando, this was one of those games where I had to immediately head over to the Hawks Next YouTube channel just to see what was going down after a pandemonium like that. Talk to me about where you were in the moment, how it all went down, and ultimately what your Hawks were able to pull off on Thursday Night Football.
Absolutely, positively cloud nine. The type of win we have not been able to really get secured within this division, both between the Niners and Rams in recent years, and we finally went and got it. And indeed, this is a game about going and getting it. I'm sure going to hear a lot of different excuses as to why this was the Rams game overall, and why they got this and why they got that. But with the game on the line, as this thing wound down, as the game gets a little tight, you get that little knot in your gut. The best players step forward. The best players play large. You make adjustments as a coaching staff. You find your footing. You find a way. You go get a win. I said last week, I don't give a damn, a Ripley rip, about some stupid stylistic points. It's about getting the W's at the end of the day, about getting the number one seed, home field advantage throughout the playoffs, that first round bye. That's the goal here. And the Seattle Seahawks accomplished that, and they did so in a fourth quarter where we're going to hear a lot about how this team's got this bad defense in this day, and I ain't going to oversell that. The defense wasn't particularly good, but you know what they did have? Three and outs of this Rams offense in that fourth quarter with the game on the line. I keep telling you guys week in and week out, and I'm sure it forces a lot of people in the audience to probably roll their eyes, that special teams indeed does matter and is a factor, especially if you have the number one special teams unit in all of football. It did so in this game down the stretch. It's kind of funny for me hearing from some Ram fans that have been coping for the last 3 days on the back of officiating, where it's like, well, you guys, the officials were so bad, you had to fire your special teams coach, huh? Is that how it is? Is that, or maybe there's a little some factors here that contributed outside of just officiating, huh? We get back into it. The defense making adjustments in the fourth quarter, going from a high blitz rate in that first half, some of it run blitzes to stop the run a little bit, but some of it just blitzing at much of a higher rate than you normally would. You dialed it back into that fourth quarter, and then your front four actually were able to get pressure on their own. Another part that contributed to this win. You got the Rams having 5 times onto your side of the football field where they had an opportunity to go get a touchdown, and they did not do so in this entire football game. There's a lot of reasons for the wins and losses, but the wins to this one comes down to me of your Hawks took it. Was it pretty? Was it great? No. And on top of it all, Sam Darnold goes down and has another game-winning drive. Goes down there and goes and gets a 2-point conversion. Rams could have gone for a 2-point conversion if they wanted to when they got the touchdown with Puka. They chose not to. They chose to play it safe. This coaching staff said, we're not going to play it safe. We're going to put our big balls up on the table, and we're going to let this thing swing. And Sam rewarded him for it on a play where not only did he take him down to go get a touchdown on the back of very little running and mostly passing, already he's done this a couple of times this year, but he did so as well in that final play, going through 3 different reads to get to his 4th read on the play. For everybody says locks in on receivers, doesn't get there. 4 reads on the play to get down to the check down on that play. It wasn't designed to go there. You can see it with his head swatting all the way around. The Seahawks played a team victory here. The Rams got a great quarterback. Rams have the best quarterback in the sport. MVP, bar none. No debating it. Rams are going to be a problem moving into the future. No debating that. Wouldn't surprise me if they end up in the Super Bowl. I don't think there's anything to take away from that. I think that's the one difference, though, between what I hear from this win from a Hawk fan perspective, hearing it from Rams fans, versus the other way around on the other side of it when we lost. There's a little bit more to me of we're just going to make the excuses rather than say, hey, it's a great team, 2 great teams going at it head-to-head, came down to the line. You got us this time. We'll see you again in the future.
Brando, the game itself, up until Shaheed takes the punt back, it really felt as though the Rams controlled this entire football game. It felt like the Seahawks just were not on their level that evening. What flipped when Shaheed brought that punt back? And ultimately, where was your mindset at? When they take it back, are you thinking, man, we got a puncher's chance here? Are you still thinking, oh, yeah, they're going to make it look a little bit more respectable here, but we've been completely outclassed tonight? Where were you? Because that, of course, as you mentioned, the special teams here, the most underrated element, that was the switch. That's how the Seahawks were even able to get back into this football game, much less bring it to overtime and win it.
I ain't gonna lie. I was in the midst of loading the shotgun right before that punt return. Okay. I'm not gonna play. It was dark. It was getting dark. Like the stream itself was like, it was going sideways a little bit. So it was definitely one where I was not feeling like, hey, we're just an inch away here, fellas. We're just one play away. But with that said, this does show you on a play like that how big momentum can factor in. You're on the road like the Rams were there, and it felt like a little bit to me of they had a lot of the momentum kind of controlled throughout most of this game. And when that momentum swings, it's a bitch, and it can slap you right in the face. And I think that momentum just gave the whole team a breath of life that gave them a chance to really feel like, oh, no, there's a chance to get back into that. And that's all you need to give them was just about crack of daylight. And that's why I keep hammering the point of this wasn't necessarily the Rams losing this game as much as, from my perspective, the Seahawks taking it.
And lastly, and I was thinking of Jesse during this because it could not have been a more perfect game for him in terms of his man, Sam Darnold, where he got the worst versions of Sam Darnold, but ultimately Sam Darnold ended up doing enough to give Jesse his much-needed W. Obviously, if you tuned in last week, nobody was a bigger fan of Darnold this past Thursday than Jesse. But Brandon, I bring it home to say, up until the end there, it looked like Sam Darnold never going to beat those big game allegations. All of a sudden, in the end, he's making plays that he not only made, but he had to make. There was no room for error. He got it done. What did you make of the ability to overcome yet another game where it felt like the narrative the next day was going to be Sam Darnold, he just can't do it, to all of a sudden in the same game overcoming all of that and getting the W?
Well, I think there would have been some fairness involved. I don't know if I would have fully agree with it, but I certainly would have acknowledged that it would have been fair coming out of this game if he had just held performance to that fit to form, and that's who he had been. But we play a full football game. We don't just grab a quarter here or a quarter there. We look at the whole experience. Likewise with quarterback play, we don't grab a game here or a game there. We look at the whole experience for what they've done on the season. And the whole beginning point with this whole Sam Darnold debate was, can a top 10 quarterback go win you a Super Bowl? That's been proven out in recent years. It doesn't take a top 3. It doesn't take one of the 2 best. You can go win a Super Bowl with a top 10 quarterback. From there, the debate was always, is Sam Darnold a top 10 quarterback? Every statistical play you want to look at this year would point to that. My eyes have pointed to that. He's done the comeback wins, which everybody said he couldn't do. He now got you the big time win against the opponent that everyone said he couldn't beat. So I don't know if this is really going to move much of the needle for those folks that are Sam Darnold naysayers, but as I've been over and over again saying on this, it should.
For every great game, there's two reactions. There's one fan base that says, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. And there's one fan base that says, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. And unfortunately, Jake was on the latter end of that reaction in this football game. Jake, the Rams were looking every bit of the best team in the NFL that we expected them to look like, expected them to be, that they've really proven up until this point to be. And it felt like this game was in hand. As I mentioned earlier, a bit tongue-in-cheek, but the point still remains. When Sam Darnold threw that second interception, it just felt like this game was all but over. You have the Rams up big early in the fourth quarter, and you're at the 8-minute mark until this game becomes a one-score game again. You blink, and all of a sudden, there's the craziest couple of plays you've seen. This game's at overtime. This game's Seattle's game to win. So you're watching this, and what did you make of the whole thing? Because for a game that was as big of a game as you'll find in mid-December, the Rams played about as good as you could up until, of course, they didn't. And you look back, and all of a sudden, surefire win wound up being a really bad loss for LA.
Yeah, it was incredibly frustrating because I think the Rams going into this game, I think I was the first to say the Rams and Seahawks are the two best teams, and then it's not remotely close who the third team is. So I wasn't surprised about the score at the end based on that. I was surprised because the Rams dominated the entire game and looked like they were better. Like, the margin between the Rams and Seahawks looked further along than I even thought. And that's what really makes me sour about this game. Matthew Stafford was astronomically better than Sam Darnold, and he comes away with the loss. That doesn't seem very fair, but I guess that's football. 457 yards, 3 touchdowns. I heard over and over again how, nope, you guys aren't going to be able to do anything against our defense. We shut you down the last time we played you, and we should have won, and we were the better team, and all of that. I think the Rams were the better team on Thursday, and they lost, and Seattle was the better team the last time they played, and they lost. So I guess being the better team, you're going to lose the game. I don't know what else to say. Puka Nacua definitely showed he's the better receiver between the two, and I love JSN, but I think Puka Nacua is just on a whole other level, clearly the best receiver in the NFL. You cannot stop him, period. But the defense really was frustrating to watch. I know they had those 2 turnovers on Sam Darnold, but I came away thinking there just wasn't enough pressure in this game. Not enough pressure when Charles Cross is missing in this one. But shout out to the offense that actually stepped up. We're going to continue to talk about the 3 and outs and overthinking things. And Sean McVay gets blamed, but Sean McVay has this offense 3 straight games over 500 yards. And oh, by the way, he almost had 600 yards without Devontae Adams. And I think they did miss him in the red zone. Just his presence alone, I think you could see that. They didn't miss him as much as Brad Allen missed that call in the red zone that took a touchdown off the board that we just don't talk about. It's funny how that works. We give the refs, we'll give them a break, right? But, I thought that call was utterly disgusting. It was terrible to take away a touchdown. They end up settling for a field goal. I'm glad Rams fans finally understand what I've been saying for a while. Look, Mevis isn't bad, but Mevis never at any point did that kicker had to go up and kick a high leverage kick. And I don't care. People can, give me the excuse of the wind all they want. But the reality is he's not that good. He's not Matt Gay the year the Rams won the Super Bowl. He's not Greg Zuerlein the year he sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. He's just a guy. And he's a guy that's probably not as good as the kicker that the Cardinals just picked up today, Josh Carty. So with that said, I'm bitter about that. I'm bitter about the way the defense failed this offense. And I'm bitter because I think the Rams are still clearly the best team in the league. And I think it took a really fluky comeback for this to be otherwise. And Brandon knows that. I mean, you're down 30-14 on a short week. And yes, you could say, okay, the special teams came to pass. I mean, fine. But how many times, if you were to play this again, how many times down 30-14 with 8 minutes to go are you going to win? That by definition is a fluke. Don't get me started about the 2-point conversion, because this is my argument about the 2-point conversion. Okay. I don't care if it's ruled whatever. The reality is that was not a scoring play. Was ruled not a touchdown. Not a 2-point conversion. It was a failed attempt. Okay. So we go from not a scoring play. All scoring plays are reviewed. Seattle doesn't challenge this. They're ready for the kickoff. And then you're telling me a minute later, goes by and they're like, oh yeah, it's 30-30. I call that plot armor. I'm going to call it like it is. When people say the NFL is rigged, I'm not saying that the NFL wanted Seattle to win, but did the NFL want to maybe extend a game between the two best teams showcasing, their overall program? I don't think it's a crazy thing to suggest that. That's all.
What do you, Brandon, you got something?
Yeah, if we can, on this one. Number one, there's a couple things to address in there, Jake. Mm-hmm. You can do me a favor, Z-Bot, and let's go ahead and bring up that touchdown that got wiped off the board. And what I'd like to do, since you and I have a dog in this fight, we got 3 other gentlemen here on this panel. How about we have them watch the play? And I know that you've gotten caught up on what the guy said in the telecast, that he pushed him in, but let's put that away, because you also don't listen to that guy then when he says the 2-point conversion call was right. So you don't give that guy a lot of stock on the telecast.
Well, he's holding
him carried a lot of weight.
He's holding him.
No, what he said to him, he didn't. Well, let's play the play. We've got 3 guys here. Let's see if what they think here. And what he said in the telecast is he pushed him. He didn't say holding him. He said pushed him on the telecast into it, which he doesn't do. But let's play the play here. We're going to concentrate on Jaron Reed. And you guys tell me, does Jaron push that offensive lineman in there, or perhaps the guy who's coming in for the backup that's got adrenaline coursing through his veins might actually have just gotten a little over eager? So Reed's going to be right behind. He's going to be right behind 13. Is going to be Jaron Reed that you're going to want to concentrate in on here. Go ahead and play it up. Where's the push? Where's the push? Where's him doing anything to that offensive lineman to force him to come down the field exactly?
He's holding him.
Yeah. Let's get the folks. Z-Bot, what's your call on this?
So where we just to point out to the
67,
folks,
by the way.
We are looking at 67.
This ankle's kind of tough.
So 67 is going to be in the middle of your.
I mean,
he's pushing the guy in the end zone and getting too far down the field.
On Terrence Ferguson is even worse.
Well, wait. Well, let's not move off of what we're trying to talk about. Which I'm addressing the topic you rose that said was straightforward and just should never be wiped off the board. My Hawks have been called for that twice this year. It's a point of emphasis within the league, the lineman getting down the football field. He got down the football field. He got down there because he's a backup with adrenaline coursing through his veins, taking over for Dotson in the moment, gets a little bit too far down the football field. But again, I would love to. I've got a dog, like I said, I got a dog in the fight.
Take off a touchdown
so
off the board.
Let's see what the 3 guys in the panel say. Is that the letter of the law there that you can't get past 1 yard? Remember on this, gentleman, it's at the 1 yard line. You can't go past 1 yard. Is it a penalty or is it not?
I will say there is another angle where it looks like Reed shoves him with his left arm to get him past.
Well, he's bringing a swim move over. But the guy's pushing him down the field.
Bottom line is my Seahawks won. All right. Many times is a G. Okay. And I could give 2 rips about either of your teams. I hope they both lose next time they play their games. And we got a week 18 matchup for the prime, for the hat, Brandon. This is exactly what we had hoped for. I don't care how it happened.
I get it.
I don't care where it happened. All I know, week 18, number 1 seed on the line. We have a possibility at it. Now, the 49ers got to take care of business against the Bears. You guys got to take care of business against the Panthers. But if that happens, number 1 seed on the line, hat bet ready to go. Can't wait for it. I'm glad my Seahawks won this week. All right.
And Brandon, the officiating thing against the Rams, you have 2 Fail Mary plays in your stadium. Come on. The Baker Mayfield game against Seattle, you had Craig Milstead,
we're gonna go down the line of penalties, man. Your team has been the least penalized team in 10 years. Show the stat on the penalties this year if you could for me, Z-Bot. Can we present the penalty situation right now, please? If you got that one, bring up that slide if we could for me. There's this moment. That one looks.
We're bringing up
that one
something
looks
from
familiar.
2019 now.
You're bringing stuff up from 10 years ago. You just brought up Fail Mary from freaking 10 years ago. That was from last week, by the way. Let's go up. No, go up to the next one if you can for me.
So
I'm not saying the fix is in. So let's see. That's ruled a touchdown right there.
I finally get to talk about this because I wasn't on last week. Hate to break it to you. This is
I'm sure there's a reason. Let's go.
This is a touchdown.
Hold on. I got to pause it because Alexis said it wasn't a touchdown. And I said, we have got to ask Jake the next week because I guarantee you he's got a different
I knew you were going to, so I was ready. I watched the whole thing. By the way, Alexis kicked ass. Not a surprise.
Yes,
you guys
did.
were great with her. Not a surprise. He doesn't have possession at that moment. The ball never touches the ground. How on earth is this not a catch? I don't know what Lions fans are complaining about. Plus, the Lions, come on. But he doesn't get possession until he is in the end zone. They played this on the giant Oracle thing at SoFi Stadium. I saw it firsthand, and it was pretty clear to see what happened. He's juggling it. Ball never hits the ground. And then by the time he has possession, it's a touchdown. It's really not hard, Brandon. It's not a hard concept.
I know. There's every time there's a reason. There's this play right here. Scroll to the one right there below it.
Oh, you mean the one where Akello caught it and the ball didn't move at all?
I know. And then again, just take note of this was a game where we literally had a play overturned where Igar caught the interception that got overturned on a play exactly like this. That's less of a catch than what. Hold on, let me finish. That's less of a catch than what Ernest Jones got in this last game.
That's ridiculous.
And that ended our season. You're sitting here talking about these officials. That ended our year, that interception in that moment. Final point on this. Scroll to the bottom, please. Last slide. And this, I'll shut up after this point. Right here. No, up on the last, showing the penalty situation there, Z-Bot.
Oh, yeah, where my Bills are getting hosed each week that I just found out about, by the way. This is news to me. Look at this. Unbelievable. But the Rams.
Holy hell.
Yeah, so
look at that.
Like
once
I
again
said,
at the
they're
top
the most
every
disciplined
year.
Team.
Yeah,
they're the most disciplined team. I don't know what you want.
This is a 10-year thing that I can point to just about statistically data-wise to show you this. I'm not trying to say that, look, I'm not, hold on. No.
Became the coach of the Rams, they became disciplined. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying that every single year to be one of the least penalized teams year in and year out, that there's going to be a bit of fluctuation within there, especially when you have years where you're, more injuries. I don't think that he's this grand poobah.
10-year
It's also convenient. It's also convenient the second you went to LA that this shifted as well. Yeah, it shifted with McVay. You know the other thing that happened at that time? You went to Los Angeles, the same market that couldn't sustain itself twice over before. So is there maybe an inherent thing there? Maybe. I'm not even saying that the officials are in your pocket. I'm just saying that it's rich.
It's also
coming from Rams fans.
It's also
that the officials are somehow working against them. I think that there's not a fan base in the sport that'd be like, yeah, that's real. Just like there's no national pundit right now saying, yeah, they got hosed that last week by the officials. It's only Rams fans that are saying this.
You were 0-6 versus Matthew Stafford, and it took all this for you to win a game against Matthew Stafford. You think I'm scared of you? Dude, you think Rams?
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I didn't bring up anything about scare or fear. I brought up the fact that it's a valid win that you're trying to put on the back of officials, and that's why I'm calling BS on you.
Absolutely, but you don't.
So don't put it on officials. Take the win and walk. Take the win and eat. Take the medicine. Move on. Beat us back in the playoffs.
The argument could be, okay, well, the 21-19 win was a valid win, and we had to hear over and over again, well, you weren't the best team. We're coming to get you, and then it took literally taking a touchdown off the board, a miraculous 2-point conversion, which, by the way, Zach Charbonnet is picking it up to hand it back to the ref. He wasn't even trying to score. If the Rams pick that ball up and run it back, they're blowing the whistle dead. They don't get the 2, so only the offense could benefit from that. And in addition to that, if the Rams go over and smack Zach Charbonnet, now it is a roughing call, and you guys would have been able to play the down again. So there's you're
playing the what about game here on that, and not what actually happened. And Charbonnet walked over there because the coaching staff teaches the players to do that when there's a loose ball.
Ridiculous.
If your coach wasn't, he said it himself in the press conference directly after the game.
Now he looks like the hero.
No, he said it directly after the press conference. Well, you're talking about how great McVay is as a coach. It's one place that maybe he didn't teach his players in a way my coach did.
Well, no. So what happened was you didn't actually do anything to get a 2-point conversion. Sam Darnold threw it off Jared Verse's head, and then it almost got picked, and then the Rams went to go after it, and then they blew the whistle dead.
Fluky things happen in football, like the Steelers yesterday had something fluky happen
in football when you play at Lumen Field.
The Lions had their season ended last on a touchdown yesterday, right?
Go back to the
so
Baker
stuff happens.
Mayfield
It's weird,
game.
and hey, you got to look at a review. They're automatically reviewed plays. Every 2-point conversion's automatically reviewed. That's
Whatever
the way that
you
works.
say,
It's not
brother.
the officials.
Whatever you say. Like I said, my biggest thing is I gave you guys credit on my live stream. I said straight up, I said Seattle deserves credit, but I also think we need to do a better job of holding officials accountable as well. And I don't think that's a crazy thing. And I think taking that touchdown off the board, and I think that that penalty that they gave JSN, now I don't want to hear how JSN had some fluke penalty against him earlier in the year. And also, by the way, it's 1-1 in the series, and you just got your first win against Matthew Stafford. You're going to have to play him again.
Stay on point with the task. We're not. You're over here. You're like what we're talking about specifically. Let's stay on that. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna fish again. I told you from the start of my whole diatribe on this that a respect for the Rams wouldn't surprise me at least to see them. Take nothing away from them being a great team.
I got a lot of respect for Seattle. I think they're number 2.
But this is also below the surface because though you might have given credit, you did that for about 3 seconds on the thing and then proceeded. It was okay. Now officials.
Well, no. That's not what happened. I pointed out officials at the end of my spiel. And then you had the 2 things to bring up, and then I rebutted.
No, I was talking about after the game, when you're referencing after the game and what you were saying, where you're at with it. It was much more leaning in the side that we basically...
just for the 49ers to be the number 1 seed.
Right.
All right, can I also say that has to be the worst number 1 seed in NFL history if they become the number 1 seed? They have no pass rush. It's actually hilarious. Phillip Rivers was going to throw for 300 yards against that defense.
We'll talk about that. I still can't believe what I saw last night in that first half.
This is why, I'm not worried. People are like, oh, don't go the Rams. Rams are dead. Bury them alive. And now you got, see what you do, Brando? Now you got Eagles fans believing that they're, no. Go away. Go away. You're not in this. Here's the argument right now. It's Seattle. It's the Rams. It's the Bears. It's the 49ers. Those are the only teams that can win the 1 seed. But I'll also say this. I don't need the 1 seed. Okay? The Rams can play at SoFi. I'd love it for them. But the reality is, they remind me so much of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. They could be the 5 seed. They could just whoop everyone's ass. I don't care. That could be their course. Or they could go on the road like they did the year they won the Super Bowl. That's fine by me. I have no worry about this team whatsoever. I feel like the margin between the Rams and Seahawks is bigger than I thought going into that game. I feel great. I don't feel as good as Sean McVay because, man, he really seems fired up. He's ready to go.
That presser afterwards, man, that's a guy who can conceal he couldn't conceal it because you knew how pissed he was, but conceal it in the sense that he doesn't allow it to come across like he's pissed. But you can tell how bottled up between the Puka BS, them losing that game. That's a man that's pissed off right now. Probably nobody more pissed off, though, than the man behind you. You're behind your left shoulder there, Brando, who just perhaps lost $45 million in guaranteed money for doing one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in the history of the sport. Before we put a bow on this, and I cannot believe this show is free. Maybe we take the part of my take route. We'll be on Netflix next week at some point if we keep going down this road. But I got to ask the 2 guys down here with the other 2 up top muted, your honest opinion on nothing else other than the 2-point conversion. Mike, I'll start with you.
So here's the thing. Very valid points on both sides. I did think that 2-point conversion was something that I've never seen before in my life, which is really, really weird. But I guess rule book's the rule book. But I'm looking at what the Rams could have done. It's just one thing that frustrates me about the Rams, and it's coming from a fantasy perspective, is obviously the Kyron thing. But they put the ball in the hands of Matthew Stafford so much to play hero ball. You had 3 possessions, and you went 3 and out in the 4th quarter. This is on you. This is on the Rams for doing what they do all the freaking time. Convert a freaking first down. And you probably could have killed this game and won it. You should have won this game. This is on the Rams. I always go back to this. Sean McVay goes too pass happy, and he puts it in the hands of Matthew Stafford to be hero ball, whatever. You had this game in your hands and you let it slip away. And of course, got to give credit to where credit is due. They had the ice in the veins, and good for them for going for the 2-point conversion, because obviously this is cinema, man. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of this. I'm not in playoff contender or in playoff football, but I love the fact that all three of you guys are in here. I can sit back and watch, this whole thing happen, eating popcorn. But other than that, it's great. The Rams should have taken it. Y'all lost this game.
Well said, Mike. I love it. Jesse, real quick, your thoughts on that particular play, because obviously that had a huge impact on this one.
Rams fans right now, this is perfect for you guys.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Yeah, listen, the 2-point conversion, it is in the rule book. For me, I thought the touchdown early in the game was a much bigger deal, but even then, like, that was a Rashid Shaheed coming out party. That's really what it was. I think on the other side of it, I know that we joked about the Sam Darnold fan thing. Listen, if you feel good about Sam Darnold after that, because of one drive out of 4 chances to finally go win the game, after throwing those picks and trying everything he could to lose that, if it wasn't for Rashid Shaheed, not only the kickoff, let's not forget he got the end around to spark plug that next drive as well. Without Rashid Shaheed, that game doesn't happen, and we're all sitting here going, yeah, Sam Darnold's not very good. And then Brandon's, backpedaling and reeling and trying to defend and throwing out stats. And that's what this whole show turns into. But thank God for Rashid Shaheed. And like I said, now we got a chance at the number 1 seed between the Seahawks and 49ers. I really hope that both teams can win this week. So, this show needs that. Like, we cannot get robbed of that. The 49ers need to take care of business. Seahawks need to take care of business. And we need that in our veins, please.
Both the Panthers and the Bears, things have been going a little too well for them recently. So I feel as though this is destiny. Both your teams get it done. Week 18 winds up being as magical as what last week was. We will talk about those games in just a bit. We got more football to talk about from this past weekend. A half hour in the books on maybe the best game of the year. It was well-deserved. A great game by the 2 best teams in the NFL, perhaps right now, up top. And I'm glad we spent the time on it. That was incredible. Let's move to Sunday. Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Atlanta Falcons. 26, Atlanta, 19, Arizona. A game that was tied at half. Falcons go on to score 10 in the second half. The Cardinals can only muster 3. They end up losing by 7 here. Jacoby Brissett, this was a light day for him. Only 31 attempts. I feel like we're used to seeing 40 at the absolute bare minimum. 16 completions on those 31 attempts for just over 200 yards. Kirk Cousins on the other end of things, under 200 yards, but 2 TDs. Bijan Robinson, 92 yards through the air and a touchdown. So, Mike, real quick on your Cardinals here. This was kind of a toss-up game, but it's a loss. Obviously, with the Falcons winning, that draft position gets a little worse, and the Cardinals' draft position gets a little better. So kind of a double win here almost for your Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, at one point we were sitting at the 5th overall pick, which is really cool, and then the 49ers won, and we went back to the 6th overall pick. So we're watching very closely what happens in this draft pick. Obviously, I think the Cardinals are just going to lose on out on the rest of the games, but this game was a weird one. It really was. It really was. Jacoby Brissett is used to slinging it, like you said earlier, and this was one of the kind of worst performances he's had, and against a very favorable matchup. Everybody pointed this might be, if you were going to get the 4th win on the season, it would have been this Atlanta Falcons game. And it didn't transpire that way. Michael Carter ended up toting the rock for the most part for the Cardinals, and believe it or not, this is probably the best we've seen our run game perform all damn year long. So shout out to Michael Carter. Elijah Higgins, the guy that has the most receiving yards, crazy, absolutely nuts. It's weird because Trey McBride was held down. It's so weird how they were able to do that. Michael Wilson caught an unbelievable catch in the end zone. So shout out to him for continuing to do what he does. But other than that, it was 2 or 3 receptions. Marvin Harrison Jr. was spotty here and there. He wasn't playing the full 100% of the snaps. They were trying to kind of ease him back. But as of right now, I think the debate is over for Cardinal fans. It's Michael Wilson being your number 1 wide receiver until Marvin Harrison Jr. can stop jumping in the damn air and try to catch every ball by leaving his feet. Right now, you're not number 1 wide receiver. It's Michael Wilson right now, until you can go ahead and fix that whole situation. But like I said, I think this game just kind of came down to who had, I guess, the best weapon, and Bijan Robinson, man, the guy killed it on the ground, receiving. He did it all for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think the Cardinals were ever in a situation where I felt like, okay, they're going to win this game with maybe the exception of like the first drive. And then it kind of unfolded and the snowball effect. And just what the Cardinals are is they start off hot or they dwindle down or they don't do anything and they just score, let them score a lot of points on us. It's just you either get beat down or lose by 7 points. That is who the 2025 Arizona Cardinals are. Now, unfortunately, we did lose some big key pieces that we need for the future. 2 young pieces. Garrett Williams goes down with an Achilles injury on season-ending IR. Very, very unfortunate for him. And then Walter Nolan. Unfortunately, I like what I've seen, but it was such a small sample size. And then he's now going to the season-ending IR as well. And that's definitely going to bleed into the beginning of September next year. At least I'm assuming it will. So this game, in a nutshell, I mean, it's cool, but it was just a weird game. It's just a really, really weird game. But I don't think any Cardinal fans are really care. I mean, let's be real. I mean, we're looking at the poll right now. We got like 2% Cardinal fans in the chat, and I'm probably the other 1% here in the chat. So other than that, like I'm going to keep it short and simple, ladies and gentlemen. Like nobody cares. It is what it is at this very moment. We're all watching. Will Cannon come back? Will he not come back? That's all we're watching. It's losing season here on out, but it is what it is.
Mike, you're such a true. By the way, my favorite thing with everything going on in this division, where you have 3 teams fighting for the 1 seed, the top comment I think on the last episode was, I just want to give a shout out to Mike. That man is in here every week putting his body on the line, and it had like the most likes out of any comment, and it's dead on. Mike, you're keeping it real, and we really appreciate you grinding through it, because I know this is difficult with these teams just doing what they're doing. I will say, and you brought it up, and we've talked about it the last several weeks, the silver lining here at the end, Michael Wilson coming along the way that he has here, that is a silver lining for Cardinals fans to take into this offseason, because he has come along, and that's certainly something to be excited about. Well, we transition from Sunday to Monday Night Football, where old man Rivers looked like he was back with the bolt on his helmet in this one. In the first half, folks, his passing line for Vegas, whatever, if you're a betting man, his passing line going into this one, I believe, was 150. This man finished 23 of 35 for 277 and 2 touchdowns. He had this game back and forth in the beginning. It felt like we were watching the Chiefs-Rams game from back, what was it, 2016, 2017, was it in the beginning? These two just going back and forth in the first half, that was. In the second half, it was a different story. And the San Francisco 49ers pulled away the way that we thought they should against the Colts team that's really been reeling the last several weeks here. 48 San Francisco, 27 Indianapolis. You thought the story here might be Phillip Rivers having what would be considered a great game for a 44-year-old quarterback who hasn't played in 5 years. That was overshadowed by Brock Purdy, who put together one of the best games of his career, frankly. A career high in passing touchdowns, 5 touchdowns for Brock Purdy, 25 of 34, 295 yards. Christian McCaffrey continues to be the man we all know he is. And George Kittle, this is unbelievable. Coming off the injury, the guy has been incredible. 115, 7 receptions, 1 touchdown. All you can hope if you're a Niners fan is he continues to stay healthy down the stretch, because no one is playing better on that San Francisco team than him. Jesse, it was a wild first half. It was even wilder in the second half, but all positive for your Niners in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic game to watch. Even I was rooting for Phillip Rivers, like, come on, Phillip, do something. And he played really, really good. You know, the difference in the game for a majority of it really was that special teams play, the draw or the fumble on the kick return, the second drive that the Colts got it. 49ers end up scoring a touchdown there. And that was the gap that they needed to ultimately go win this game. And Brock Purdy was absolutely sensational throughout the course of the game. He did have the 1 interception, but it happens. Tip pass ends up being high, picked off on the back end. Don't really put any blame on him for that. Really the most impressive thing for me from Brock Purdy is not the stats. I really could care less about the stats. We have now 3 straight games since the Carolina Panther game where it wasn't just the 3 interceptions. It was another 2 or 3 that could have or should have been intercepted in that game. It was about as bad as it could look for Brock Purdy. But since that point, 3 straight games, he has been nearly flawless with his decision-making. I can think of 2 throws in 3 games where I was like, probably want that one back. That is phenomenal play from Brock Purdy. And that's exactly what they're going to need down the stretch, because the 49ers are not going to stop anybody with their defense. I hate to break it to you, but this defense is atrocious right now. No Fred Warner, no Bosa, Renardo Green also out. You've got Bethune, who's been in and out of the lineup, was hurt again in this game. It's not getting any easier for this defense. And watching Phillip Rivers, who can't throw the ball more than 20 yards, dice up the 49ers. I get it. He's a smart player. He knew everything that was coming their way. Eventually they got the pick six, but that game was a lot closer than it should have been. And that's because the defense just can't stop anybody. Now, it was impressive. They sold out. They stopped Jonathan Taylor, but Jonathan Taylor's really been on the decline the last few weeks. I want to see this defense and this team in particular play against the Chicago Bears, who are a very complete team, and the Seattle Seahawks, who are also a very complete team. And I think at that point, we're going to know exactly what the 49ers are or are not as they enter the playoffs. The fact that they even have a chance at the number one seed, and it's becoming very, very realistic, is absolutely mind-boggling. Yes, the 49ers have their flaws. Every team in the league has flaws right now. The NFC especially is very unimpressive. I think the AFC has the better teams overall. I think that there's some really good defenses over there, some good quarterback play. The NFC is just it's a train wreck. I mean, the Rams, for as good as they've been, and they were my Super Bowl pick, they just fired their special teams coordinator. Their defense, I've been talking about it for 3, 4, 5 weeks. Like, what's going on with their defense over there? Seattle, I've been very vocal. I don't trust Sam Darnold. And their defense, what I saw from their defense was so unimpressive this last week. It's like, okay, well, we can talk about, and it's true, the 49ers defense is awful. It is awful right now. But their special teams is legit. I believe ranked number 2 right now behind the Seattle Seahawks. And if their offense is this efficient, I mean, they're putting together scoring drive after scoring drive. They haven't punted the ball in like 2 straight games. Brock Purdy, if he doesn't turn the ball over, they're going to be tough to stop for anybody. I don't know, man. I'm not saying the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl or even going to get the number 1 seed, but every single week when I watch this league around the 49ers, I go, oh, why not? None of these teams are that impressive to me. Not a single one of them is impressive. So it's wide open right now in the NFC, and I can't believe that I'm here right now going, yeah, the number 1 seed's a real possibility, and I think it's going to happen. I do at this point.
Quick question, Jesse. Just wondering, since Brock Purdy's come back, it seems like he's back to playing more on time than less of the improvisational Brock before the injury. Like maybe watching Mac doing what he's doing has kind of locked it back in. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know what's interesting about that, Brandon, is the game that I referenced were against the Panthers, where he should have had 5 interceptions. He talked about that pregame, hey, what'd you learn from Mac Jones? Like, oh, playing on time and getting the ball out of my hands and playing it safe, basically. And then he goes out and turns the ball over 3 times and should have turned it over 5 or 6 times. But since that point, he has played much more on time. And this is when Brock Purdy's at his best, is when he plays within the timing of the offense, is in rhythm, and makes those 1 or 2 plays a game. And that's exactly what we saw against the Colts. 2 phenomenal plays where he breaks containment, hit Tonjes for what should have been a touchdown. I don't know why Shanahan didn't challenge that one. He had the other one where he threw it across his body. I'm never a fan of that one, but it worked out for him. Touchdown with George Kittle in the back right corner. That's what you need from Brock Purdy. That's all you're looking for. You don't need him to play hero ball, 6, 7, 8 times a game, just 1 or 2. Give me the 1 or 2 plays, and then the rest of the time play within the confinements of the offense and the play calling. And that's what he's doing. I mean, he's been sensational for 3 weeks in a row.
Mike?
Real quick, Jesse, have you joined the Purdy Mites?
No, no. Listen, here's the thing: is it's tough because on one hand, obviously, you're looking at it and say, "Hey, he's playing fantastic," and he is. But we also have to be realistic and say, listen, the 49ers just beat a 2-win team, a 3-win team, a 2-win team, and then a team that's lost 6 of 7, and their only win was against an awful Falcons team that almost beat them. So I love what the 49ers are doing, but that's why I said, let me see it versus the Bears and Seahawks. Listen, if the 49ers go out and do what they're supposed to and can win these home games or at least play really close football here, and Brock Purdy can make it through these games without, the boneheaded plays, I'll start to believe, really, really believe. I just, it's hard for me to fully back it against these awful teams. It just is.
Well, you mentioned the fact that they are still alive for the 1 seed. So are the 2 teams up top. We'll talk about what it's going to take for those teams to get the 1 seed going into week 17 in just a second. Before we do, let's give a shout out to my friends over at RotoWire. And speaking of week 17, they already have all of the lines ready to rock for you for the entire slate this upcoming week. And it all starts on Christmas Day, a full slate that looked good in the beginning of the year with all the injuries and all that's gone down up until this point, not looking all that great right now. It might look a little better if you got some action on it, and you can do so by getting in on the action using the premium NFL odds tool over on RotoWire. This gives you an advantage by being able to shop all of the best lines all in one spot across all the major sports books. All the games are up already for week 17. You can use the NFL odds premium tool on RotoWire along with all of the other awesome premium tools that RotoWire has using a premium subscription. Link is in the description below, or premium subscription. Go to the description to click the link. Use the promo code RTS. That will get you a 15% off discount on a premium RotoWire subscription. Speaking of getting in on some action, fellas, you know, I hit one the last Thursday night when it was a major game between the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. And I thought I'd do a little bit of a humble brag here because I nailed it again. In fact, nailed this one with ease last Thursday. Sam Darnold with the free pick on Sleeper, more than a half yard. Matt Stafford, more than 229 and a half pass yards. Soared past that. Puka Nacua, anytime he wound up getting 2. So cashed on Sleeper, hoping to do so again this upcoming week. You can get in on the action as well. Link in the description below. Click that and sign up for Sleeper. Once you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry. Once you use your free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, RTS, and that will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. We turn the page from an epic week 16 to week 17. I cannot believe, fellas, we are at the point now where there are only 2 regular season games remaining. And within this division, they are all massive. As we head down the road of December into Christmas here, shortly we will be in January, and shortly it will be playoff football. But let's talk about what's going down in week 17. Let's start in the 1 p.m. window, where the first place Seattle Seahawks are looking to keep it rolling against another first place team in the Carolina Panthers, who have had an incredible turnaround season. It's Seattle taking on Carolina in the 1 p.m. Eastern window. Seattle 12-3, Carolina 8-7. And if they want to keep plugging towards that 1 seed, plugging towards locking in their division title here in the NFC West, they'll have to get it done against Carolina. Jake, I'll start with you. Hawks versus Panthers. What do you make of this one? Who takes it and why?
Yeah, I've kind of gone back and forth. Carolina is a different animal at home, but I'm going to stick with Seattle to get out of this one with the win. I'm going to go 27-26. I think it's going to be really close.
Ooh, a nail biter, says Jake. Another 1-point score game for the Hawks in back-to-back weeks. That'd be something. Jesse, what do you make of this one, Carolina and Seattle?
Yeah, I agree with Jake. This one's interesting because not only are the Panthers a completely different team at home, but Seattle's coming off a very emotional win. And you wonder, is this the game where they could falter? Could they be looking ahead against the 49ers with the number 1 seed on the line? That does concern me a little bit, but I think McDonald's a really, really good coach. I mean, Jake and I have been talking about it since day one, how we were scared of him being in this division. And, as bad as the defense looked at times this last week, very unimpressive. Overall, this defense has been very sound. There's talent up and down the field everywhere on that defense. And I think they're going to come through. I do think the Thursday night game helps them, gives them that rest. That'll give them the time to get over that emotional win and then come back and win this one. So I'm going to go 23-17, but I'm going to call out Seahawks fans real quick for two things. One It was just last week, Seahawks fans, that I was talking you off the ledge for talking about the poor officiating in a game that you had. And now all of a sudden you guys are all over Jake and the Rams fans like, oh, you're crying about officials. You guys literally just did this 1 week ago. Literally a week ago. You can go back. There's super chats about it. And I'm like, guys, this is what happens. When your team loses, officiating is always an issue. Like we hear it. It's as old as time. I just said this a week ago about your fan base. So that's number one. And number two, oh, Brock Purdy's not very good because it was against the Colts where he threw 5 touchdown passes. Your quarterback had 0 the week before against the Colts at home. So I don't want to hear it.
Wow, little rant on Jesse's Seahawks there. He's kind of down on him. He was high on him last week. Coming down on him a little bit here. That's all right.
If I might respond for my Hawk fans out there in regards to the first point, because the second point's fine, and I certainly think Brock's earned his right to take what he's done there. But it's not about what the real issue here comes down to. There's like 2 plays pulled out of a game where you go, I don't like these particular 2 plays. In a game where you had 90 plays offensively alone, and you're grabbing those 2 plays. What I brought up the case with the Indianapolis Colts was it was something that was occurring as the game was going on, building up, continuing forward, going on, continuing building up. And there's a difference between having one particular game that stood out in the season that's been so well officiated, even in our losses. I wouldn't go to I don't think in our 49ers game we lost to you guys, Jesse, in that close game. I don't think I pointed the officials. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Nor the Tampa Bay game we lost. I've said throughout this season, it's been pretty well officiated games. That's why that Colts one stood out so brazenly for Hawk fans. It was call after call after call where you're going, what's going on here? Why is this shifting? And then there's this monumental call that comes down late in the game on top of all those ones that built up to it. In Jake's case, and he can say if I'm being unfair here, you're as much grabbing to the 2-point conversion and the pushing the guy down, or the guy going down the field on the supposed push of Jaron Reed, and that those are the just 2 plays you grab. I think there's a bit of the difference between the 2.
Mike had to run out real quick, so Brandon, I'll swing it up to you. Your Hawks, they're rolling right now. This is a big one, and I think Jesse made a good point. Coming off is about emotional a victory as you could possibly imagine. Is this a potential letdown spot for your Hawks, or do they get it done against division leader Carolina?
It's absolutely a potential letdown spot. I think the emotional part that he brought up is right. I think the points Jake brought up were right on this as well. This is a very good Carolina team, and not only good, but they've come along stronger as the season has come along. Nick Scorton, their high pick, has really, really come on as a player. He's outstanding. Derek Brown's having a Renaissance-type year there for Carolina, so they can challenge you in kind of every way. Tedero McMillan was exactly who I thought he'd be coming out, which is the new Mike Evans. I think he's become that. So I think they're going to give you hell. They play their best football at home as well. I'm going to give Seattle the nod because I think that they're just going to be so hungry into getting that number 1 bye, and they know that it's down to these 2 games to go and get this, and next week as well. But it ain't going to be easy, and I think it's going to come down the line. I give the Hawks the nod, 21-19.
Big game for the Hawks. We'll see if they can keep it rolling against Carolina, who's looking to win the division over Tampa Bay when it's all said and done. We'll move on to the other game in the 1 p.m. window on Sunday. It's Mike's Arizona Cardinals taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Both these 2 teams kind of just playing out the string here towards the end of 2025. Arizona 3-12, Cincinnati 5-10. This one in Cincy. Jake, starting with you. Cardinals, Bengals, who do you got?
Well, Bengals fans aren't going to be happy, but they're going to shred that draft pick, and they're going to shred this game. Joe Burrow is coming off a 4-touchdown performance, and I think the Bengals are going to win 34-10.
Oh, blowout. Good thing Mike is not around to hear that. Jesse, if you want to get your blowout prediction perhaps in real quick before Mike comes back.
Yeah, as much of a dumpster fire as the Cincinnati Bengals are, it seems like the Cardinals are even a bigger dumpster fire. I don't know what's going on over there. They absolutely got to fire Gannon. You know, it's interesting when they hired Gannon, I was like, this is a bad hire. And it had nothing to do with the awkward scenario in the team lobby or whatever. It was just like they needed to make a hire. Gannon was there. Steichen was the clear better coach on that coaching staff. And then Gannon somehow ended up with a job as well. Not that Steichen's been great by any means either, but it just was never a good hire. And now that we've seen it for a few years, I do like some of the things he's done. I would say he was better than I expected, but still not very good. They got to let him go. But ultimately that organization is just in a sad spot. I feel for Cardinals fans, but they're going to get smoked in this game bad. They might give up 40 plus. So you know what? Let's just have some fun with it. Let's go 41-22.
Brando, you keeping this Bengals train going here with the fellas?
Yeah, let's keep having fun with it on the score. I think that the Bengals, as I've called them, or the Cardinals, the Cancun Cardinals has been our joking term to them. And I think that they've been showing you a bit of that spirit. On top of it, they lose, it feels like, somebody every week. We talk about the Niners with the injuries, but it's been almost worse with the Cardinals. But indeed, with Walter Nolan now adding on top with his third injury of the year or something like that.
Yeah.
So I do think it's going to be a boat race as far as the Bengals go. I do think that the Cardinals have showed they stay in the game offensively, though. So I'm going to go 41-31 in this game.
Wow, high scoring affair. Everybody's got a lot of points coming in for Cincy. How do you see this one going, Mike, with your Cardinals?
Yeah, Cardinals either get blown out or they lose like 7 points or less. That just kind of seems to be the trend. I think with this high-flying offense from the Cincinnati Bengals, I think they're going to be basically scoring too much for the Cardinals to even maintain. I'm going to say Cincinnati's going to win this. And this is in Cincinnati, too. So the Redbirds going over to it just seems like a recipe for disaster. So I do have Cincinnati winning this game. I see 41-21 Cincinnati wins.
Everybody's got Cincy scoring 40+. This game should likely finish 16-13 or something around that. We'll see what ends up going down. We'll see what ends up going down on.
Right,
man, it gets me every time, and it gets me even more when it's a game like this. It doesn't really get bigger between two teams outside of this division. The Chicago Bears, 11-4, on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers, who are 11-4. The Bears are coming off of what might be the most improbable victory of 2025. I still have no idea how they found a way to come back and beat Green Bay, but they did. The Chicago Bears, they're riding high, as are the San Francisco 49ers, who are fighting for a 1 seed. And this is crazy to think, but both these two teams right now are two teams I don't think many people thought would be in the position that they're currently in, yet here they are, and this game is as big as it gets in Week 17. Brando, I'll start with you. It's Chicago, it's San Francisco. Who do you got on Sunday Night Football?
I'm going to go with the Niners on this. I just don't think that they beat themselves defensively, no matter how deep the injuries have gone to that defense. They're just so well coached up, and the Bears just have to kind of dance on the knife's edge a little bit between Ben Johnson being able to structure enough up for Caleb Williams and then Caleb doing enough off script and improvisational wise to not have a bad result on the back of it. And it's a hard kind of baseline to kind of oscillate between the two. I also think that Niner offense is just humming right now, playing their best football. They've got all the intricacies of the Shanahan offense, kicking ass and taking names. I'm going to give them the win and win easy, 28-17.
28-17, says Brando. Jake, what say you in this big one between Chicago and San Fran?
Yeah, I see this one I went back and forth on, and then I just kind of simplified it. And I simplified it like this. The Bears recently, they're not the best road team, but the Bears recently have played a tough Green Bay defense, a tough Cleveland defense, a Green Bay defense, a Philly defense that was somewhat figured out by that point. They played the Steelers. They've played some good teams recently. Whereas, and Jesse kind of alluded to this, as good as Brock Purdy has looked, it's gone up against maybe the worst iteration defensively I've ever seen of the Indianapolis Colts, and that includes the year they had Curtis Painter at quarterback, the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, which, again, that's a good defense right there, and they had Carolina, who's a much different team on the road, in Arizona. So I'm going to take the Bears. I was really leaning towards the 49ers. I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners won, but it's going to go back to what I was saying. The lack of pass rush is going to give them problems. And I think you saw the reason why the Bears were able to come back and win that game against Green Bay is the Bears did not have to go up against the closer of the Packers. That closer's out for the year, Micah Parsons. They missed him dearly. And I think when push came to shove and Caleb had time to throw, he was able to dice him up a little bit. So I think that's going to happen again. I'm going to go 23-17 Bears on the road.
Mike, big matchup between the Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. Who do you got in this one?
Oh man, this is gonna be a good game. I want the Bears to win this. Obviously, I got no love for anybody here in the division, except a few guys. I hate your guys' teams though. I really want the Bears to win this damn game. I really want the Bears to win this game. I just feel like experience is going to kind of rear its ugly head. But I think it's going to be a close one. I do think that the 49ers are going to edge this out. I'm going to say 31-27 49ers.
All right, Jesse, here we are with a chance for the 1 seed to be on the line potentially in week 18. Got to get it done against Chicago. Will you get it done against Chicago at home on Sunday night?
Yeah, the Bears are the most complete team the 49ers have played in quite some time. They're going to run the ball effectively. And, Caleb Williams isn't the most accurate passer. He holds onto the ball too long. But to Jake's point, you've got a defense that can't generate any pressure. We just watched it against the Colts, who had 3 starting offensive linemen out. The 49ers still couldn't get to a Phillip Rivers who can't move worth a lick. And so now you give Caleb Williams all the time in the world to sit back there and make plays and do what he does. This is right up his alley. So there is a concern there. But the 49ers have done this before. They've been here before. They know what these big games are about. I respect the hell out of the Bears. I think it's going to be a really fun game, but I like that the 49ers are at home. I don't like that the edge, as far as rest goes to the Bears. They just played on Saturday. The 49ers have a short week on a Monday game, but they don't have to travel. So I'm going to go, this is going to be a tight one. I'm going to go 27-23 Niners to get it done to set up the matchup of all matchups, week 18.
Ooh, baby, man. Oh, man. We are being treated to just an endless amount of insanity in this division. All right, we go from to Monday Night Football. And this time, two things on the line in this game. Obviously, the Rams looking to win, stay in contention for that 1 seed, stay in contention for the NFC West. But should they win, they also get a better draft pick when it's all said and done next year. As you well know by now, the Rams possess the Atlanta Falcons' first-round pick to the chagrin of Brando and company. So the question here is, will the Rams get their 12th win, and will they improve their draft stock in the 2026 draft? Mike, I'll go back to you. I'll start with you. Rams, Falcons, who takes it on Monday night?
Yeah, I mean, the Rams are pissed off right now. The Falcons are a okay team, but that's who they are. I mean, they play for in the South for a reason. The Rams are going to win this game. Matthew Stafford's probably going to have himself a really good game. They're going to get back to their run game. Everything's going to work out. It's Rams will get back on top. It's okay, Jake. It's all going to work out. It's going to be 31-17. Rams win this game.
All right, so we got a blowout coming the way of the Rams, according to Mike. Jesse, what do you make of this one, Rams-Falcons on Monday?
Well, this is a double whammy because if you win, you get the better draft pick by beating the Falcons, who you have their first-round pick. So this sucks, and it's definitely going to happen. The Rams are going to be out. They're going to be pissed. I'll go 35-21 Rams.
35-21 says Jesse. Brando, Rams looking to bounce back after losing to your Hawks, and I think Mike put it best. They're pissed right now. They got 2 things to play for here, so I'm imagining you're taking the Rams in this one.
Got to go with the Rams on this one. Falcons love to blitz, about the second highest rate in the league. You don't blitz Matt Stafford, he'll destroy you on the back of doing that, and that's just inherently what they do. And I think the Rams are going to come out mad and angry, and they understand what's at stake and keep it the line and staying, at least right there on the heels of Seahawks. I see them winning big, especially that extra day of rest there. So 31-14 to the Rams.
Jake, I think everyone agrees here. The Rams, they're not feeling great about what just happened. They want to make a statement. Do you think they make a statement on Monday night in Atlanta?
Yes. I'm going to go back to 2005 when Michael Vick, TJ Duckett, and Warwick Dunn destroyed the Rams. I had to watch that. I'm going to use that same final score, 47-17. I think the Rams, who are averaging 41 points per game their last 3, they're averaging 534 yards. I don't think they're going to miss a beat against the Falcons, and I think they are going to run them into the ground. And I feel bad because they love Raheem Morris, but they're pissed. They are absolutely pissed, and they have every right to be. So, unfortunately for Atlanta, yeah, you're not winning that game, and you're not getting the draft pick. So,
rough night in store for Atlanta on Monday night, according to the fellas. All right, Brando, we're at an hour and 3 minutes in the books. If you'd be so kind as to cue me in, because It is time for the best part of the show. It's Super Chat time. And folks, you're going to need to give me a second here because I can't believe what I'm seeing on my screen. For starters, we are at over 1,100 viewers concurrent right now on YouTube.
It's incredible.
That is unbelievable. But that pales in comparison to what I'm about to say. We are at north of 90 super chats. Okay. I have never seen anything like this in my life. 93. I think 93. Wow. In fact, I feel like we're doing a telethon here. I feel like we're working for PBS.
We're going to go over 100, Z-Bot. You already know. We are
going to go over 100. I don't even think I'm prepared for this. My media training I never took a class on how to read 100 super chats. So this is going to be done on the fly here. You guys are unbelievable. You are the greatest fan base. You are the greatest supporting cast we have ever seen. And we say it every week, but we mean it because you guys continue to prove it. This is just absolutely absurd. And before we dive into these, let us be the first to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. With Christmas coming around in less than 48 hours from now, we appreciate you spending a little bit of your holiday week here with us, recapping what was a wild week 16. We hope you have an incredible Christmas, and we look forward to seeing you next week after all is said and done in week 17. But for now, let's dive into these super chats as they continue to pile in. And who better to start off with than our girl Meg, who's coming in with what I like to call a pomegranate on this one. She's dropping a pomegranate on us. Meg saying, as it is Christmas Eve here today out in Australia, and the best Christmas gift was the Rams win. Oh, wait, I meant the Seahawks win. Love how the Rams fans had nothing to say but call me out for being trans. Guess it shouldn't surprise me, but we didn't choke, Rams. Listen, Megan's taking the high road on this one. I think Megan's feeling pretty good right now. She's in the Christmas spirit. She got an insane W. It's Christmas Eve already, by the way, over in Australia. So Megan's already rocking around the
and I want to give Megan a lot of props because I can confirm that happened. That doesn't speak for the whole Rams fandom. But Alexis and I were doing Downtown Rams, and someone said that, and we called him out on our show. That's not, we don't appreciate that at all. And the reason why I want to call out Megan and give her some respect is because she was watching our show. She was giving us credit. She even super chatted our show. I think people, they forget that this is just a sport at the end of the day. This is for us to get away from the bullshit. So why add more bullshit, right? Let's keep it at sports and fun things to do. You want to talk trash, whatever. I don't know why you're talking trash. You don't play for the team. You've literally done nothing. But you want to talk trash, fine. But do it respectfully. For the love of God. It's really despicable the way some people act online. And they act that way because, of course, they're sitting behind some stupid avatar, not showing their face like Megan is. And so they'll say whatever the hell they want because no one's going to check them. But I'll say it. So shout out to Megan.
Respect to you, Jake, for checking.
Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, for real. And I think I speak for everyone here. Megan's been supporting us since day one, and she hasn't just been supporting us. I don't even know if there's an adequate word to express what Megan means to the show. So Megan, thank you for kicking off the Super Chat Hour tonight. We're sorry you had to roll through that.
Appreciate you.
Hey, unbelievable W. Glad you're rolling with stride here. Hope you have an incredible Christmas, and thanks so much for stopping in as always. Jesse?
I wanna call this out too real quick. But by the way, I'm glad you stood up for Megan because she's amazing. But
Megan's awesome.
Appreciate you.
We are 200 subscribers behind the NFC North. The only roundtable, other than the AFC East, which has been around for years, the only roundtable we are behind. If we have 1,000 of you watching, chances are 200 of you are not subscribed. You just watch every week. Hit the subscribe button. Help us get past the NFC North. Be the number one roundtable sports YouTube channel. We already are as far as viewership. Like it's not even close at this point. But let's get the subscribers too. Please, 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 please help us get past the NFC North roundtable. 200 is all we need. 200.
And hit that like button.
Yeah. Smash that like button for Mike. Hit that sub button for Jesse. And I don't know. I mean, what else can I say? Every week we off air, we just say, guys, I don't even know. What do we even say? The support has just been unbelievable, but we want to make sure we say it on air as much as we can. I can't believe this. I think we're nearing towards that 100th super chat here, which is just absolutely insane. Pretty good coming in, saying strange how some would say the Lambs, there it is, Jake's favorite word, are the best team in the NFL, and yet they are in third place in their own division, a 6th seed currently, and just recently their special teams coach. Real quick on that, Jake, was this a long time coming here, that firing?
I never want to celebrate somebody's untimely firing, but I may have mentioned that in my videos so much that my father told me to stop saying it because I might run into him in person. We all wanted him gone. He's like, they had the best special teams coordinator back when they went to the Super Bowl the first time with McVay in Bones Fossil. I mean, he's just fantastic.
Why'd you guys let him go?
I'll tell you.
Sorry.
So no, you're fine.
I was thinking about the other day when I saw him on the Titans. I was like, why did they? Go ahead.
You and me both. But anyway, that Cardinals game, Mike, I'm sure you remember. It was like 2019. The Rams decided to like go for it. They did a fake punt. McVay was livid because he never gave him the okay to do the fake punt. After that, done. Wow. So they ended up having mid after mid after mid, and then they just had bad, and that was Chase Blackburn. Sorry, Chase. Wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors, but you ain't the guy. But you will be getting a ring when the Rams win the Super Bowl, so there is that. I know that's bittersweet, but yeah. So it had been a long time coming. Also, this last thing, like, they're in third place. One, that'll be short-lived. They're pretty much guaranteed the 5th seed as long as they don't mess up beating the Falcons and Cardinals. And if they do, then they don't deserve to be the 5th seed or the 1 seed, right? But number 2, the Rams have the best resume in the entire league. So it's not just me being a homer. The Rams literally have the best resume in the entire league. Like if we were talking college basketball, they'd be the number 1 overall seed by far because they've played the most good teams and they've beaten the most good teams. That's all.
Period. Megan. Popping back in, the migraine I now have after the action green beanie is so worth it. Merry Christmas to Jake and Rams fans. I just got to say, Jake, you've been rocking the beanie multiple times throughout the season. It blends in perfectly. I mean, I think it was a clutch call on your end going beanie.
It does suit you, man.
It's not like the sourdough Sam sitting on top of your head like Brando where you couldn't miss it.
Yeah, no. I always liked the action green, so I was like, If I have to, it was the only one that was in stock. They were all sold out. I think everyone went, and everyone, their mother was like, "We need to get a beanie." The Seahawks just won Thursday Night Football, so it was hard for me to actually get this freaking thing. But you know, it'll be worth it. I was telling Brando off air, don't think this is the last time I'll be wearing it. you guys better run the table because this is going to be a holy relic. Trust me.
Holy relic.
Gotta keep it for life. Part of the bet.
Why you mad, bro? What a week for me. Seahawks, Oregon Ducks, Blazers, talking Doves. Yeah, Oregon putting the belt down on JMU to move on to the next round of the college football playoff. Jesse's stoked up. He's a Ducks fan. And we had a wild weekend of football. It's going to get even crazier this upcoming week. We got a full slate of bowls, Saturday night football, Sunday. It's a hell of a time to be a sports fan right now. It's almost a bit overwhelming, but it's awesome. So we can't wait for the upcoming week. And obviously in 2 weeks, we've been talking about that game. Niners, Seahawks, a lot coming your way here on the NFC West Roundtable. Jay coming in saying nothing other than Shaheed salute, who really did. I mean, he really was the spark for the Seattle Seahawks to be able to get back in that game Thursday and get out of there with the victory. Edwin, keep that same energy, Brandon. When the Sea Chickens lose to the Rams when it counts, Darnold will let you down when you need him the most. Rams will win. So I think Edwin, he might even be calling a shot here. If I'm reading him correctly, he thinks that these two could be seeing each other again.
Well, I think me and Jacob both thought that that's going to be a very even not likely, just seems likely potential down the road. So I wouldn't shock me in the least if it goes that way. I'll keep that energy and we'll see. Darnold definitely came through us. We need him pretty badly this last game with the drive on the line, need a touchdown. So he came up big there.
Unless the Carolina Panthers piss one of us off. Because I'm telling you right now, I watched them when I was a little kid. Steve Smith, the double overtime game. I can't watch another Panthers playoff loss. I might actually go to Carolina. I can't deal with it, guys. I just can't.
You know what would be so bad is if you were to lose to Carolina.
If you played them.
But if you were to lose to Carolina in the postseason, then you go on your phone and all of a sudden you hear, if you had 150,000. You don't know Carolina Mike?
No,
you guys don't know Carolina Mike.
I definitely do.
We need our own segment now. We need a Z-Bot singing segment. We got Christopher Walken. Now we need Z-Bot singing just disco music and whatever the hell else.
When you are done watching, listen. When you are done watching this insanity, go and search Carolina Mike on Instagram. You will not be disappointed. God. That man should win Fan of the Year. Jay coming back in. Rams fans disrespecting the entire time, and now all they have to say is, "We will get you next time." Sorry, no refunds, says Jay.
I don't really know what he's saying there. Appreciate the super. I don't really.
There's no refunds, but I'll just say this. There's no, whatever you buy here, you don't get to keep forever. Like we just talked about, might be put back on the line here in the postseason. So both these teams, they bought a W. You're talking about 2 games here that finished with a combined margin of 3 points. So whatever we see in the postseason, you got to think it's going to live up to the billing. We have Holy Hand Grenade, who, by the way, has been a member for 8 months. And I wanted to mention this because we have well over 1,000 of you in here. You guys support the show every week, and it's incredible to turn out each and every week. If you'd like to support the show even further, become a member like Holy Hand Grenade. You can do so right on YouTube, and it gives you a variety of perks. Your username will be featured on our YouTube page. You will get free super chats like Holy Hand Grenade has right here. You'll also get custom emojis that you can use in the chat and put next to your handle. There's a variety of features, and down the line, we're going to be adding even more. So if you want to become a member, no better way to support the show, and we would really appreciate it. It's right down on your screen. You can click that and become a member whenever you'd like. Holy Hand Grenade has already done that 8 months ago, and he's coming in saying, Rams have no reason to talk ref ball. You get the biggest calls / no calls than any team out there. You lost. Take the L. Don't blow a 16-point lead. Yeah, I mean, 16 points, it's more than just a couple of calls, but there were some crazy calls in that game. There were just some crazy moments in that game. This is what happens when you have a crazy game in general. Dylan coming in. Great to see you, Dylan.
Just don't be a disciplined team because you'll always have a target on your back.
That too, right? When you're the king, everyone's coming for the crown. These two have been going for each other's crown the entire season here. Dylan saying, glad to see you didn't get food flu 2 weeks in a row, Jake. Merry Christmas to all. Seahawks don't flinch when they get punched in the mouth. Champion. Dylan's calling his shot. He thinks they'll be champs in just a couple of weeks here. Pretty good back in. Lambs lost to the Panthers and the Niners backups. Can we slow down on them being in the Super Bowl? It's a little ridiculous. Their defense is mid at best. In their 4 losses, right, 3 of them, they've allowed 31 plus points. The other game, 26 to San Francisco, that went to overtime. So it does seem like with the offense being as great as it is in their losses, it's the defense that's allowing 31 plus points or so. And it's tough to overcome, even if you do have the MVP at quarterback. But we do know that offense is elite, can go toe-to-toe with anybody. We'll see if they can continue to do so down the stretch here. Jake?
Zeba, I'll also say this. They're missing Quentin Lake. It's really starting to show up. I like Josh Wallace a lot. Quentin Lake does things that are just off script. Just things that he was snubbed from the Pro Bowl. He was really good this year. I mean, he got hurt, so I'll give him that. But Quentin Lake is expected to be back for the wild card round. I think that defense is going to be much different when he's back. Very similar to what Brandon was saying about Eamon Worry. He's one of those players that kind of that Swiss Army knife, kind of do it all. I mean, really important. I always kind of viewed him as like a poor man's Kyle Hamilton, when it came to Quentin Lake. And yeah, they're missing him. They're really missing him now. So, that's what I would say. And I'll also just throw one out for my guy. Ahkello Witherspoon being healthy scratched is just stupid. He's better than all those corners. So that also isn't helping. And I think that'll get rectified in the next couple weeks. So I think it'll be a different defense moving forward. And if it's not, I'll own it.
Sorry, there was a bit of a lag there. Of course, why wouldn't there be? It's just, it's classic. We're going to go into rapid fire mode because we are, even with all the super chats we've read, we are still at 93. We will be opening Christmas presents together if we continue down the pace that we are currently at. Not that that would be a bad thing, by the way. I'd be very excited to see what you guys got me, but I do know we want to probably spend that time with our family. So we're going to enter rapid fire. I don't even know. Rapid fire here. We're going to hit the speed bump on the whatever. How about you just read them, bot, because this is supposed to be rapid fire, right? And if anybody on the panel has something to add, raise your hand like we're in 4th grade, and I'll be sure to call on you so we can get your point in there. Propa coming in. Rams have the most annoying smug fans. Stop crying, little bros. You have no home field advantage anyways. Silent count at home. Fan bases are pathetic. Wow, tell us how you really feel, Propa. Appreciate you. Jay on fire, back in the building. Rams fans better worry about those 5 3-and-outs as well. Getting some pepper in coming into these Rams fans here. John saying, Brando, can Christopher Walken let Jesse know his Sam Darnold support was what sustained the Hawks in their time of need?
Had he not done what he did when he did it, we would not have done what we did when we've done it. So, Jesse, it was you. You're the reason when the hosting of the Bowl Lombardi goes high. Remember, it was you, my man, all the way.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
The Warhammer. I hope you feel better after your food poisoning, Jake. Terrible that the Ramily has come down with a fatal case of copium syndrome. Telltale symptoms of excuses and mental gymnastics from the Whams. We do hope they recover, Warhammer. Appreciate you giving your condolences to Rams fans. Propa back in again. The Rams won a Super Bowl and nobody gave an F. Still 17 road games a year. Wow, even a Super Bowl cannot do enough to support the Rams here, Jay.
I mean, the only I have to chime in on this. If it's not the 49ers or Eagles, then the Rams most likely have home field advantage. I mean, I was at that Lions game and it was the loudest. It was way louder than the game we were at. That fan base is getting there. And it pisses me off too. I don't love hearing the 49ers, whatever, right? But this idea that they have no fans, it's ridiculous. I was there at 9 a.m. tailgating with my father, and it was packed with Rams fans. I'm so tired of hearing that. It's just old at this point.
And all the Rams fans we met at the NFC West Roundtable, they couldn't have been better. So we hope that fan base continues to grow, and this talking point becomes mute at some point here. Danny B, I need to start going to every Hawks game. Last 3 games for me have included last week in the 2023 Monday night versus Philly. Well, Brando, you might need to start sending some tickets to Danny here because he seems to be the good luck charm they can't lose when he's in the building. Freddie K. Baseman saying Rams and McVay learn. We'll meet again, and Darnold will flinch again. They are waiting on the downfall of Sammy, Brando, but he showed him last week he may have what it takes when the moment is the biggest. We got Jay. He is just on fire. Somebody get a fire extinguisher from this guy. Copium for all the road games in January. Man, we are just firing at the road jokes here for the LA Rams. Dylan, Puka was laughing and waving to Seahawks players and fans in the third quarter, and that woke up the defense, according to EJ. That's the culture difference. Oh, maybe a little bit of added motivation.
Almost 600 yards of offense. It really woke up the defense. Congrats. You didn't give up a record-breaking day of offensive yardage. Hearing that, I was just like, all right, that's just one of those ones. The winner of the battle gets to write the story because the loser's dead and can't defend it. It's all it really comes down to.
Cheeto's loving the attire, by the way, Jake. He's saying you look great in your new gear. He really loves
anything, so I'm not surprised. I could make a 49ers hat look good.
Wow, we'll see. Maybe you'll have
No.
the
There's zero chance. Would never do that to you, Dad. He watches this show. Would never do it. By the way, my father said.
Did you see how quick Jesse was? Jesse was like up on his chair. Jesse was like ready to jump on the tip of his chair.
I saw you. But yeah, my dad says you're all spectacular in what you do. So
Shout out to Mr. Allenbach. I saw you were at the game with him, which is awesome. Nothing better than going to the game with the old man. I love it. John Chisari. Jake, stats do not win games. Guts and heart do. Every game the Rams have lost outside of the Panthers loss was a choke due to bad special teams. Stop blaming the refs. When you lose, man up and accept it. Well, the Rams certainly accepted it. They fired their special teams coordinator. So we'll see if that continues to be an issue, but the issue might be out of the building.
First loss I was genuinely sour about.
Yeah.
So it's not like I haven't owned losses. I mean, I'm pissed at the team, but like this one I was sour. So
Maddie coming in with a tangerine for Christmas here.
Matthew.
Matt saying, good evening, guys. Congrats on your win, Brando. No excuses from me. Seahawks won, we lost, end of story. Jake is my guy. I don't always agree with him, but I never doubt his passion, his knowledge, and his dedication. Go Rams. That's how you do a super right there. Just touching all the bases. Yeah. Well done, Matt.
Well, you guys got a great play, but again, I think I lost in some officiating. I know I've said this before, and we got to go quick, but great team, Jake. You guys absolutely have every bit of a chance. This doesn't shake it in the eyes in any way. You guys in the end story of this, it's all still to me wide open in every way. So nothing's been decided
for the third movie, man.
Let's go. It's all about the trilogy, right? Movie. How you wrap the trilogy up. That's how it all. It doesn't. The first two almost don't matter if
this ends like Game of Thrones. You won't. I don't know if I'll show my face again. No, I'm kidding.
The trilogy is hard to pull off. The trilogy is hard to pull off, but I got a feeling it'll be spectacular if we end up getting it. Jay, dude, I mean, I got to call the fire department. This is unbelievable. Nothing fluky about 5 3-and-outs, man. Jay is just letting have it. Dylan saying film breakdown. Let's effing go. Brando, is that in regards to you breaking down the film here?
Yeah, I think he's referencing some of the clips. I put
Love it. Oh, yeah, by the way. Yeah, I felt like a lawyer earlier. Brando was checking in some items to me into evidence just in case they were needed, and they wound up being needed. Something food for
I didn't go. I still left out some too, Jake, so I didn't go as hard as I could have gone. There's still a couple more in there.
Brando, I left out. See, I want to real quick say that. I have others I would have, but I didn't want to be that guy. There's that one call where Kyron Williams had 9 yards, gets the first down, then there's a holding, and then they end up having to kick a field goal, which he misses. Like, I wasn't going to do that. But yes, I thought that the refs were awful. They were terrible. They were absolutely despicable. I thought Brad Allen should have been fined for how bad he was, truthfully.
And see, I thought there's 14 yards of penalty difference between the two teams, and that what they did coming into this game is they said, we're going to treat this like a playoff game. We're going to let those guys play. We're going to let this thing, for the most part, go and keep the penalties in the pocket, because the story can't come out of this game that it's about the officials and that they over-officiated the game. Let the players essentially decide it out. But I get your side of it, too. That's just kind of where I stand with it, looking at it.
And I do want to say, Brandon paid my retainer. That goes for all 4 of you on the panel. If you do want to pay my lawyer retaining fee, you can send evidence to me, and I will be sure to use it on any of the NFC West Roundtable episodes. Dylan stopping in. I don't want to hear about officiating, Rams fans. Remember that no call on the face mask on Sam Darnold last year? Sucks, don't it? Also, Parkinson's touchdown. We did, once again, we went over some of the evidence.
Yeah, I was right on that. I broke it down. It's very clear as day. The Darnold face mask, are you talking about the one that was literally in his own end zone, and they would have had to go 90 yards to win that game?
Yeah, but it was his helmet got turned nearly behind his head on the play, and it didn't go called, and that was for game. That finished it up. It's like the timing of the calls is also the factor, not just that they occur. It's when do they occur? For instance, if you have like a Super Bowl game where you haven't had defensive holding called in the whole secondary throughout the game, to the same point I just made about them letting players play, and then for the very first time they call defensive holding on your team's final drive as they've just lost all their opportunity to go and get the score, and that gives them a refresh on downs. That's
kind of like also a factor. because he was holding Darrell Henderson.
Oh yeah, that did happen with the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, when he was
I was just bringing up an example. I totally forgot. That was right.
When he was practically tackling Darrell Henderson, and then the next play, like they basically gave him a warning, and the next play he did the same thing with Cooper Kupp, and then he complained. I mean, and then
I'm saying they set a standard throughout the day. They set a standard. They did the same thing with the Chiefs and the Eagles the prior year on the same point. They went the whole game, didn't call it in that game either. Waited till the very last drive, called it for the first time. You set a standard for the play on the day. You set a standard for the play on the day on how you're allowing those guys to go. They learn that standard and see how the officials are calling it, and they operate within the confines the way those officials are calling that particular game. You then change the way on a dime of how you're going to call it at the end. That's you changing it on a dime at the end of the game.
Yeah, well, T. Higgins also face masks Jalen Ramsey in broad daylight. Everybody saw it to start the half, and they're just like, no, that's fine. 80-yard touchdown for the Bengals. So no one talks about that. That's the thing. Anytime the Rams are in, it's like, oh, yeah, well, they got this and they got this. But then there's a blatant
It's not that 100% of the calls are going to go against you. It's, again, the timing of them go. I could show another clip here from a Seahawks Ram game recently at the end of the game where you guys got that same thing of a holding call on a call that was totally BS. If we watched it back in retrospect, you go, yeah, that was a BS call. Gave you a refresh on the downs. You go get the touchdown. You go get the win against us in a particular season. It's not that, again, that I'm going over and over again to say that like somehow it's that the benefit of the doubt, if this is working one or the other to the Rams, is leaned a little bit more to the Rams through the recent years than it's leaned away from them.
I would call absolute bullshit on that, Brando. I love you,
that
but
you would be the only one, I think, locally within LA would be the only people that would say that.
I'm going to say this and I'm going to end it. Okay. January 13th, 2023, Adam Schefter, NFL officiating under scrutiny after Seahawks Rams controversy. After multiple controversial officiating decisions in Sunday's playoff shaping game between the Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks, multiple executives and coaches said the NFL needs to reevaluate how it chooses to train its officiating staff for further seasons. Those same executives and coaches said game officials and league missed multiple calls that helped key the Seahawks' overtime victory over the Rams that sent Seattle to Saturday's wild card round, prevented the Detroit Lions from reaching the playoffs. That game was an obvious screw job. And I've never once brought it up, and I'm so tired of hearing how the Rams get all these calls when you guys were literally placed into the playoffs because, well, it's Baker Mayfield, the Rams, they're not playing for anything. Craig Rolstad, we already know he's a Seahawks fan. It's why anytime he's ever officiated a Rams game, it's always ending controversy. That game right there had everyone buzzing, and that was 2023. So let's not act like it's all the Rams this, the Rams that. Again, love you. Can't wait for the third game, the third movie, but that's bullshit. I will forever defend that.
DBN saying, Jake, you're seeing ghosts. Cheeto coming in saying Niners don't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting the 1 seed. Let's go. If you know a thing or two about this show, that means good things for the San Francisco 49ers. 49er D.
True.
Sorry, Jake, the 2-point conversion. It's called karma from the week before when the refs gave y'all a TD when it clearly wasn't. We've been down that road. Let's not go down it again. Meg stopping back in. And we have converted Jesse to make this Christmas even better. Yes, Jesse was not the Grinch last Thursday, but indeed he was a Seahawks Santa for his man, Sam Darnold. T-Guns. Jake, you like my hat? Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Quick work.
Oh, your dad's heart's breaking out there.
Love the internet.
God.
That is so good. Nice, T-Guns. Nice
work. Photoshop getting a workout over at T-Gun's house. Reckoning. It took the kitchen sink for the Seahawks to beat the Rams. It won't happen again. This happened last time in 2021. We shall see in the postseason. John coming in. And Jake, you must be angry that the 49ers and Seahawks have a better shot at winning the West and getting the 1 seed than your Rams. And that is because Jesse Purdy is elite. Period.
Yeah, man. Purdy's elite. He's elite, guys. Let's go.
42-26 in your own backyard. I'm not. If the Packers lost the 1 seed the year the Rams won the Super Bowl, if the Packers lost and they're astronomically better that year than the 49ers are, congrats. If you get the 1 seed, you deserve it. With all those injuries, you're not going anywhere.
Jordan dropping off a tangerine for Christmas. Let's give him a round of applause.
Jordan!
Rams wanted to talk all season. The one time you lose, your tail goes between your legs and make every excuse in the book. You got soft hands. That is the softest fan base, period. Cheeto coming in. Brandon, let's go. Glad you won. Now it's on to week 18, my dude. Also, thank you for bringing up the Saints game and all the other spitting facts. Yeah, Brandon had his whole portfolio ready to rock in front of the judge and the jury. We got Thomas stopping in. Seattle and the Rams is even better. Is even JSN better and constant? JSN's damn good. So is Puka. I don't know if we're going down that road, but both are good. Puka clearly was the top wide receiver in the league this past weekend, but just a hair shy, which is crazy because he absolutely went off. Fernando, if Rams and Seahawks meet again in the playoffs, they'll make Ernest Jones cry to reporters again. Almost 600 yards on that defense is crazy. Yeah, there was just everything about that game.
That wasn't
crazy.
Embarrassing. It's like, all right, dude. What? Like, I loved Ernest. You won a Super Bowl with us. Love you, man. But holy hell. Like, that was sad.
He's saying, Jake, you're disingenuous, is what Jay is saying.
Jay, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just Jake.
I'm just Jake. Nice to meet you. Megan, stopping back in. Told you we had the dockets, Jake. The dockets.
What's the dockets?
I don't know.
That'd be the evidence.
Wait, is dockets like documents?
Yeah, I guess
that's Australian evidence.
It's like yeah,
Australian evidence.
Joe Smith. All the Rams had to do was pick up the ball. This is Pee-wee stuff. When playing D, pick up the football. That's not on the refs. That's on the Rams. I got a feeling we'll be talking about that two-point conversion for a long time. Ruiz, one team got points taken away. One got points. Ruiz is saying it's rigged. Roger, another tangerine for Christmas.
Go Roger!
Is saying,
Roger.
Damn, Brandon coming off like a sore loser.
I double tapped it.
Yeah, you double tapped, and Roger's coming for you. He's saying, damn, Brando coming off like a sore loser and a win was not on my bingo card. Sheesh. I might want to take back a couple of those applauses for Roger there, Brandon.
I know. I got to pull it back. Well, it's Roger. It was the overwhelming folks that came in. And look, I got a lot of Ram fans that come into my chat too. And the overwhelming of what I'm hearing and hearing from the Rams contingent online, seeing online, and the fact that, again, it's just the Rams that are really squawking about this officiating problem from this game. It's not anything as far as really a narrative that's going out there nationally regarding this game. Everybody else is just like, it's an amazing game. And I just kind of feel like there's a lack of appreciation. In fact, we played a classic game. And rather than talking about in terms of like the Chiefs-Rams game from a couple of years ago, it's all about just this refs thing. And that's the part that kind of boggles my eyes. We just played this like all-time classic game, and that's the point of discussion for you guys. I understand you lost, but it makes me wonder, like, well, if you'd lost the Chiefs game, would the discussion been about that instead too, rather than recognizing how great a game it truly was?
I think that's absolutely fair to your point. And I don't think I was pissed about the touchdown, but absolutely that, to me, the 2-point conversion where you don't actually score the 2-point conversion. To this day, the Seahawks did not actually score a 2-point conversion. That was given to them because a guy picked up a football to hand it back to a ref. Regardless if that's the rule or not, that's a shitty rule, and that's really what it comes down to. I mean, I think you got to be a little understanding on the fact that was so like out of left field. Nobody could have predicted that. That's really where I think it's coming from, because it's not just, Rams just complain about the refs. No, because I don't think that's what was happening when they lost to the 49ers. I don't think that's what happened when they lost to the Eagles. I don't think that's what happened when they lost to the Panthers. But you have a moment where you have a 2-point conversion where the Rams defend it almost perfectly. They almost get an interception. They blow the whistle dead, and they basically just give it to Seattle because Zach Charbonnet goes over and he picks up the ball to hand it to the ref. I mean, it wasn't actually scored, but until after the whistle was blown. And again, Seattle didn't even challenge it. So it was just kind of gifted, it feels like. That's all.
There's no challenge. It's an automatic review.
It's not an
Those
automatic
are automatically.
review. It wasn't,
yes, it is. All 2-point conversions
play.
are automatic. It's all 2-point conversions are automatically
And it was
reviewed.
an inverted whistle anyway, which would have replayed the down.
But
So-
it's that inadvertent whistle replay the down. No, it wouldn't have. That's you completely making something up there.
Well,
and it's
no,
I'd ask you, Jake, how often do you see a backwards pass end up going forward? Not very often. Weird things happen. The one issue that you're having is you're grabbing one play in a game where there's 130 plays in the game.
No
and you're
one's
grabbing
saying
less
there's
than
not 130
You're grabbing
plays.
less than you're grabbing one play where there's less than 1% of its total impact on the whole rest of
Brandon,
the
I'm
game.
not saying you guys didn't
this was
deserve to
everything.
win. You scored.
I know,
more
but that's the
points. You went
concentration
for
of where you're at on this game.
No. I'm just trying to let you put in your mind that if the roles were reversed, you would be saying the same damn thing. And that's the thing. It's not just the Rams fans can't take a win or can't take a loss and they're sore losers. It's the fact that, give us some credit here, we're trying to deal with some crazy stipulation that continued that game. Because that's not something I've ever seen before. It's not something Coach McVay had ever seen before. Just give us a little grace here and understanding that it's going to take a little bit more than a week, I would say, to get over something that just kind of came out of nowhere. That's all.
Well, again, it's the fact that they had time to get the call right, and it wasn't something where it's a bad officiating call that they can't review in this, and that they had a chance to come back and get it right. The New York said they did get it right. That's the part that makes it harder to come on board with you on that.
Well, and then I would say, well, if that's at a 4 p.m. slot, do they do the same thing? And I would say no. Prime time, completely different ballgame. 4 p.m., too many games, too much chaos. I don't think
there's a lot of what ifs in your scenarios with this. What if they hit him? What if they didn't pick up the ball? What if they didn't all goes away from what actually did.
What if there was
occur.
a backward pass that went forward that Cam Curl almost intercepts, but he doesn't, and then they go over to pick the ball up, and then the refs blow the whistle dead, so everyone stops playing because the whistle is blown dead, and then a player just picks it up. That's what it was a.
And then it's automatically reviewed, which all 2-point conversions are, which you were not aware of until
It
about
was a
5
once
minutes.
in a generation play, Brandon. That's all
We're
I'm
not
saying.
we probably won't get much further. We can keep moving.
That's all I'm saying, man.
One-horse open sleigh. It's gonna be like the Oscars now moving forward. When we get to a certain point, I'm gonna sing Christmas carols.
Yes,
to
do
start
it.
moving on to the next speech. We have
There you go.
DVN saying most
Love you, Brenda.
disciplined
I love you too,
Los
bro.
Angeles Chiefs. Michael coming in. Jake, I can smell your coke from all the way in Seattle. We got Jonah saying NFC West Roundtable going over contested plays like the Zapruder film. Brandon giving them back to the left, coming in with the evidence. Cheeto dropping off a literal Cheeto for us. A Cheeto from Cheeto.
This is the best banter in this show's history. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
You knew it was coming after that game with all that went down. Cheeto saying, just for Brandon and Jake making this banter even more amazing than I thought it would be. I've been waiting for this, and it didn't disappoint. Thanks for bringing the Cheetos for the banter, Cheeto. We appreciate you. John saying, Jake, you're bitter that your team lost. Simple as that. Snow Tiger saying it's funny to see that Lambs fans are complaining about refs not helping with favorable calls like they get in every single game, including their Super Bowl win with a DPI call, which we talked about just a couple of minutes ago. Seth stopping in. Rams fans can't take a loss. Move on. We're trying, Seth. We're trying, but this game was crazy. It's tough to move on. I think Jake made a good point. It's still fresh. It's still fresh. They will overcome. They will overcome. It's still fresh in the minds of the Ram fan base. Johnny's saying, Jake, the Rams and 49ers are 1-1 too. DVN is saying, Jesse said it best. It's only when you lose. Look at Jake losing it. All caps. Cope with multiple E's. Cope. PGZ. Proud of you, B-Dog. Shame on you, Jakey Poo. Edwin, don't worry, Jake. This was the Sea Chicken Super Bowl and Brandon's peak. When they lose, and his fan base will crawl back to their cave. How many times this week, Brandon, were you told that this was your Super Bowl?
It's a couple dozen. It's probably hit at this point.
About a baker's dozen. Freddie K back in, seeing being less penalized is not equal to accepting bad calls. Pretty good. back in the building. I had this weird dream a few weeks ago. The almighty and all-powerful best team ever, the Lambs, lost to Bryce Young and the Panthers. Crazy. Those are those division-leading Panthers, Purdy. Put some respect on Bryce Young. Reckoning. Mike said rules is rules. The rules was wrong. It should be an inadvertent whistle rule and replay the down. And I think the best way to put a bow on this conversation, whether you were the benefactor of it or you were on the wrong end of it, there probably needs to be an adjustment to how some of these things are done, because it's beyond just this game. Each and every week, there is constantly a question of whether or not you can use replay assist, whether this play should count, whether this play shouldn't count. The NFL has a major task on their hands this offseason, and we'll see if they'll be able to correct it. Fernando is saying the Seahawks were crying when they lost at SoFi. Tell me otherwise. If there's a third matchup, you know that the Rams got it. Matt stopping back in saying, maybe y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time the Rams won or lost an overtime game when seeding was on the line was 2021 against the 49ers. They went on to win the Super Bowl. So all is right. All is good right now in Ramland if things end up going the same way they went in 2021. Jay Gundy. Rams were 0-6 against Seattle, but MM is 4-2, including his time, or Mike McDonald is 4-2, including his time with the Ravens. NFL has a McVay problem, but McVay has a problem. Interesting. It is the best username on the internet. It's Bronze Sausage dropping off a bronze tangerine for the gang. Maybe the better way to put it would be he's dropping off a tangerine sausage. Bronze Sausage is saying the cope is real. Just happy to be here as a Hawks fan. Rams are still unbelievable. Shanahan deserves coach of the year if they get the number 1 seed. And my God, the NFC West is insane. Love y'all. Happy holidays. Coffee's on me. Go Hawks. He's got them beating the Panthers 27-17. Happy holidays to you, Bronze Sausage. We appreciate you, my friend.
Coach of the year right now. Coach of the year right now I think it's over with. It should be over with right now. He's won it.
I think a lot of people would be in agreement. I mean, Jesse, you got to be in agreement there, right? You thinking it's coach of the year for Shanahan? Or no?
I mean, Liam Cohn and Vrabel, they deserve some love too. This is a tough year for coach of the year, man. You can go multiple different ways. I really think that these final 2 weeks are going to decide that award for sure, and we'll see what happens with if the Patriots get the number 1 seed, they'll deserve it too. You know what I mean? So
yeah, there's a lot of worthy candidates right now, but you could argue no one's doing a better job in the league than Kyle Shanahan. Michael, to be fair, Jake, even your linemen were pushed into the end zone, which he was not. It's still his fault for being in a position to get pushed 5 yards down the field. Jake coping harder than K1 fans. Wow, a Kyler Murray stray in the midst of a battle.
All right.
Top of the NFC.
All strays at Mike are forfeit. You can't you cannot go in. Mike is on here. It's an hour and 46, and the Cardinals are diarrhea. Like you can't you can't be throwing shade at Mike.
Freaking strays for no reason, man. Damn.
Oh, poor Kyler. Holy hand grenade. Mike's just here for a good time at this point. Right on cue. Jordan, shout out to Mike and Cards fans for enduring this season, man.
Mike just took over the show briefly. I love it. This is
I gotta get my 2 minutes, man.
Mike season.
Right on cue, Manhattan John. No team in the NFC West has experienced the same level of adversity as this 49ers team. The Rams and Seahawks have been in the clubhouse sipping lemonade and are about to find out. Well, the Seahawks will have their chance to find out in Week 18. We cannot wait for it. AZ Kraken. Appreciate you, Mike. No Cards. The love from Mike continuing to pour in this holiday season. Matt back in. 3 teams in the same division fighting for 1 seed. Clearly best division in football. Mike gets my vote for Trooper of the Year. Mike, come on, Mike.
Wow. Give him all the love, man. I'm telling you.
Unbelievable. Perfect.
If they were in the NFC South, he'd be a second place team right now.
Hell yeah, we would.
100%.
By the way, in my NFC East group chat earlier, it was funny. Someone said they wanted to swap Mike out for the Eagles so that the Cardinals could go to the NFC East and kind of die with the rest of them, and then the Eagles could come here. I know. I'm not kidding. That was a real conversation. The problem is
the Eagles. I don't want them anywhere near here.
I think the Eagles would still be the fourth team.
They
in
would.
This division, that's the thing.
Don't tell the Eagles fans that. They somehow magically believe they're going to get the 1 seed, even though I don't think it's mathematically possible.
Yeah, well, that's what beating up on Washington's third-string quarterback will do to a fan base.
And the Raiders.
Hawks 3-1 with 3+ turnovers. Rest of the NFL 5-44. Wow, hell of a stat there, Josh. Appreciate you dropping that one off. That's crazy.
You got Megan's above that one too. You bopped
they're gonna need to keep that record going because Sam could be good for it at any point.
Ooh, Sammy D.
3+ turnovers is a lot though. Sam only had 2, right? Because Cooper Kupp had his first fumble since 2022.
Yeah, we made the Sam's first half look better too, because then he's going down and getting you back into scoring, and then comes back and gets a touchdown after halftime, and now suddenly the day looks to the start a little bit different as well. So badly timed fumble in addition to it.
Meg saying the Rams were well and truly silenced, and the fans can't deal. Time to call Hannibal Lecter, I guess. Well, might have to make a phone call for Hannibal Lecter, says Megan. Maybe he'll help you out. Ninjetti. Loved the opening bout, but damn, Brando brought those receipts. Taylor PNW. The Seahawks are going to drop their huge, heavy nuts on the 49ers' faces. Week 18 in Mike McDonald, we trust. Bron Saucin, she's loving the get up. Jake, he says, nice hat. We got Mike Jackson. This is the first time all season the Seahawks fans lead the chat. The flock's coming out. The 12s they couldn't wait for this one, Brandon. Let's just keep it a buck. I mean, they could not wait to stop in and talk about this one.
Fan base is hungry for a champion. They don't just want it. They can taste it. They need it.
I disagree on that. I think Seahawks fans always show up. This is not the first time.
We've had Hawks fans in here all year long. No question.
No, Brandon does a great job of bringing the people to here. Everyone
Jake,
here on the show does, but yeah.
Bringing the
people.
Same
on your side, bro.
Brandon also bringing in Taylor, who's saying, whose house? Hawks house.
Hawks house.
Brandon, get those fingers limber because we are getting dropped off a full Santa sleigh's worth of a gift here.
Oh, Kevin.
Unbelievable, Kevin. Very Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Thank you so much for dropping off what I can only call a candy cane this time of year. Kevin saying, Jake, Merry Christmas, bro, and good on you for wearing my Hawks logo. If the Rams don't stall and settle for a couple of field goals, LA wins. If you don't miss a field goal, LA wins. If you don't give up a punt return, LA wins. If LA goes for 2 in overtime, you win or tie. So many other missed opportunities. And that's why when we're talking about the game throughout the night here, it's more than just a 2-point conversion. It's more than just a flag or two. This game had so many pivotal moments, and you had to have a few go right, or you had to be on the right end of a couple to get it done. Couple of benefactors on either side here, but this is just one of those games where it was so crazy. It's hard not to pinpoint on a couple of things, but an unbelievable game we were treated to, an unbelievable super chat we were treated to from Kevin here. Very Merry Christmas to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very, very much.
Props to Jake too for getting that hat that quick on the turnaround. Again,
Incredible.
Christmas season expedited. He's a man of his word for doing that.
Yeah, and props to the shipping service you used. Holiday season, getting that thing ready for you for the NFC West Roundtable. They knew it was at stake. We gotta get shout-outs all around.
And I was not, because there were people like, is he gonna show up? Is he gonna be on the? He didn't show up last week. It's like, well, they won, geniuses. Well, of course I wanted to be there. Korean barbecue, not ideal. And then, of course, my girlfriend ended up getting food poisoning. But that was a sub at a gas station. That kind of goes without saying, right? But no, I was just driving
you deserve
through
that one.
Yeah, well, that was what made it so painful, Brandon, is that I'm watching the Rams spontaneously combust before me while I'm taking care of my girlfriend. She's throwing up over and over again. I'm like,
she's combusting as well.
I was like, this is hell. Like, but you know what? It was hell when they didn't win a game in November, and then they went on to win the Super Bowl. So I can live with it.
That's how you know she truly loves you, though, because your team losing causes her to physically throw up.
She felt so bad. She kept saying, "I'm sorry." I was like, "You're sorry? Like, you got to throw up." Yeah, like, she's like, "I'm sorry you're missing the game." I'm like, "Well, I'm not missing the game, but so."
But I love you.
I can pause it, baby.
Yeah. She passed out, and then she woke up and she's like, "Wait, why does that say 38-37?" And I was just like, because the football gods are wearing their 49ers starter jacket. I don't know what else to say.
Mom goes grocery shopping. I don't know how the margin between Hawks and Rams is so big if the turnover margin between them is 7-1 in favor of Rams, and they only have a 1-point differential in the two games. Doesn't make sense. I guess the best way to put it would be that's NFC West football for you. Just craziness all around here in 2025. Ruiz, C-Rats ain't shite. We smacking that overrated defense. DVN, bringing up the Colts, huh? Hey, show Saints game versus Niners, and then against us, I'll wait. Mark Sanchez. 3 months as a member. Appreciate you, Mark. Accolades everywhere in this division. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Exec of the Year, and a participant ribbon. I was waiting for something there, and there it was. But yeah, you could have a lot of hardware coming to the NFC West this year, including a potential Super Bowl trophy when it's all said and done. My goodness, Megan putting on her Santa outfit.
Let's go, Megan.
Coming in with that Santa red. Megan saying, I didn't say a word about the refs, FYI. Jesse, and here's the promised match of Sanchez's bet from last week. Merry Christmas to all. How about that?
Wow.
Unbelievable. Megan, true to the word. I still can't believe we got another hat bet on the line in just a couple of weeks here. It's just the craziness never ends on the NFC West Roundtable.
Mike, week 18. It's right there.
Come on, Mike.
Leave me alone.
He was ready. You hadn't got that at the end of your lips, and he had that thing chambered coming back to you. He knew what you were trying to tug on there. That was awesome, Mike.
No. Hear me out.
No, we're good.
No, you didn't hear my offer. If the Rams play their starters, I'll give you 20 points.
Come on, Mike, negotiate with him here. Come on, 23.
No, I'm good.
Come on, with 23.
Give me next
20 points.
He's going to be playing Jimmy Garoppolo at that point, probably, anyway, at that game. So
I wouldn't take that bet either.
With my luck, no, just leave it alone. No,
listen, Jimmy G, I wouldn't take that bet either if I was you, Mike. That's a 40-point drubbing. No question about it. I wouldn't take that either.
Mark, you, Mike. I was
looking
just trying
to
add some pizzazz, for dramatic effect.
You know what? You would look good in it, Mike, because Jake's looking good in it, according to Mark, right? He's looking good. So, hat bets, everybody's looking good. No, I don't think anybody looks as good as Brandon did, but I think, Jake's still looking pretty good. Jordan saying, also, shout out to the 49er fan, C. Los, who was in Brendan's chat for 2 straight weeks trolling and talking crap, then leaves after the punt return to not say another word. Kick rocks. Nothing more satisfying than that. I've dealt with that in the past. There's nothing better.
That's why I don't like Bannon. I like to just let it because then he's just like, where?
He was trolling you with the Rams.
Oh, was he? Yeah. No, yeah, he was, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't anything he wasn't being crazy. He's just having fun with it.
But that's dumb as hell because that only helps him.
I don't know. I thought he was a Rams fan, but.
Oh, I thought it was the 49er. I don't know.
Oh, no. No, he's a 49er fan. Yeah. I think he was just saying that we're not going to, he just didn't, it was a lack of faith thing. Like, you guys are going to blah, blah, blah eventually. So.
Well, Dylan
I'm
was
sure he'll pop back. This works. He'll be back in a week. So
yeah, they always are. They always come back. Dylan was a little upset with the lack of respect for the Cardinals. He thinks they're going to cover against the Bengals. He just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. He did not like all the 40 burgers that were predicted for Cincinnati this upcoming week. Jonah saying, Jake sounds smarter wearing a Hawks beanie. All right, listen, there's a silver lining to all this here, Jake. It's making your head. Well, it's green, right? You're bright green, right?
I like Dayglow clothes. I don't know what else to tell you.
Jordan. Now my pent-up anger is out. Thanks, everyone, for an awesome show. You got it, Jordan. Appreciate you, my man. Mark back in. Marky Sanchez on either side with the Hawks game. One play doesn't win or lose the game. It's not adjusting and playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And as we talked about all throughout the show, there was several moments in this game. We like to boil it down to a couple, but I think Brandon said, what was there, 90 offensive plays?
Just for the Rams alone.
Just for the Rams.
Just the Rams alone. They had 90 plays, not total, just them.
Seahawks had over 100 tackles. It was crazy. Oh, real quick, another thing. Rams also didn't get stopped. So that's another thing that's a tough pill to swallow, is that when you watch Stafford go down the field, get a touchdown, Al Michaels didn't even realize what was happening.
Dude, by the way,
I knew you would say something, but that is painful because that defense did not even try, and if they did, that was just bad because they had no answer.
Could you imagine if Kevin Burkhardt was on that call? I think he might have died in the booth because that guy right now is cooking better than just about anybody going. Him and Brady are on fire.
He's got it.
He's just going nuts. And that game, I think it deserved a little bit of another notch there on the excitement level. Dynamic saying ref takes the TD away from Ferguson. That's a 4-point swing in a 1-point game. So I'm not too worried about it. You know, it's funny here. I'm looking at this, and this is why the third match could be crazy, because we go back to the first match and everybody's saying Darnold threw 5 picks. He's not going to do it again. We'll see him the next time. In this game, the Rams fans are looking at it saying, really weird 2-point conversion there, touchdown taken off the board. I'm not concerned about it the next time. That's what makes another rematch that much more exciting. I think both fan bases look at these games thinking they could have won either of the other game, and that's what makes just an incredible rivalry. That's what this game has been. It's what this league has been really all year long. Brenty saying, Jake, what words will you have for Seahawks fans if you guys must travel east in the snow and get a fluke loss in the playoffs before the Hawks match? Well, I will say in the snow last year, nobody played the Eagles better than the Rams in the postseason.
There's nothing to say. If they lose to the Panthers again, then they weren't as good as I thought they were. I don't believe that to be the case. I think they're the best team in the league. I think they have the best, whatever resume. I've said it over and over again. If they lose, I'll eat crow. I just don't think that's going to happen. Like, it's not like you're going to blame Seattle for you having to play. Like, you could have beaten the Eagles. You could have beaten the 49ers week 5. You could have beaten the Panthers. I mean, it has nothing to do with Seattle at that point. The way I would describe the Seattle loss is it sucks in the moment because you hate the result in that moment. Doesn't bother me for the future. It has no impact, in my opinion. And Sean McVay said it. He doesn't care what seed they have. Wouldn't be surprised if the entire group of starters don't play week 18 because he does not care about the seed. I've never seen a coach care less about the seed. Like, you can just see it in his eyes. He's ready for the playoffs.
YB Mike Jake saying Niners would be the worst 1 seed is trash. What we've done so far to be 11-4 with no pass rush and minimal defense is impressive. Like Brandon said, the Niners are like zombies. We just don't die.
I give you credit, but again, you just said it. Minimal defense, no pass rush. Like, you just had Phillip Rivers almost had 300 yards against you. Matthew Stafford had 450 plus against one of the best defenses in the league. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's actually a problem. It's not that I'm disagreeing with the fact that they've overcome a lot. It's that, like, that is actually a reason, not an excuse, a reason why you're a weaker team. That's why. And I don't think they're trash because I've been saying the 49ers, they've been impressive this year. The fact they've been able to overcome all those injuries and whatnot. But at the same time, Brock Purdy's going to have to be going against a lot better teams than the freaking Titans and the Colts with whatever defense they put out last night. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And by the way, again, if I'm wrong and the 49ers turn this into a lovely story, am I going to say that the NFL's rigged and they rigged it for the 49ers to win in their home? No. I'm going to give them props. And the 49ers deserve a lot of credit for making the playoffs considering everything they've gone through because half the league goes through that and they don't do shit. There you go.
I was really hoping you were going to say yes after all that. You were going to say, yes, of course I'm going to say it was completely rigged for San Francisco. Why wouldn't it be? It's their home stadium. Jake, it was right there for you, the whole thing.
No, because the NFL doesn't rig games in anyone's favor. The only thing the NFL may do is extend games. That's it. That's the only thing that they can do. I don't think that they rig any game in any team's favor. I've never thought that, never will.
Brandon, Mark wants you to remind him of the team that has a top 5 defense, a top 5 offense with 12 wins, and is currently first in the division and the conference. Do you happen to know a team that kind of checked all those boxes?
Let me just guys, just do the math. Oh, yeah, it's Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good guess. Was that right?
That was right. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay, good.
Oh, and the number one special teams unit in all of football too. Just put that one on top of the pile if we can.
And maybe the number one quarterback, according to Jesse. We'll see how it all ends up going down.
Yeah, Jesse's a believer.
Now I'm a believer. Cass JJ.
Believer.
Jake needs it be known. All caps. Jake needs it be known. His Rams are the best team in the league even after a loss. Power ranking ain't mean shite come playoff time. It's any given Sunday. Cheeto saying, well said, Jake. Hate the teams and not the people. Yes, that is absolutely 100% facts. Ernie, Merry Christmas, fellas. Go Rams. Took some weird stuff to lose on Thursday Night Football. Looking forward to round 3 with Q and Tay this go around. I think we're all looking forward to it. Everybody but Jesse. Or, Jesse could just be waiting around for it. If he gets the 1 seed, we'll see what ends up happening here. Megan back in. I mean, Megan, by the way, I need I need like 10 fire extinguishers, just like the break in case of emergency. Megan and Jay earlier, just unbelievable. Megan saying, thank you, Jake. I didn't mean all fans, but I appreciate that. Love you all, and a very Merry Christmas to you. Megan, Merry Christmas to you. You're going to touch down on Christmas before all of us. Megan. So we really hope you have an incredible holiday. Brenty, Bill, here we go. It's a weekly tradition. Bills fans being held hostage by riled up elite NFC division. And Mike, here's to hoping Z-Bot gets healthy cut from these super chats. Listen, no way, baby. No way. I'm a trooper. I'm like Allen. I'm playing through it. I think Allen busted his foot the other day. I don't even want to talk about that game. That game was so damn horrid. I don't even want to talk about it. Win's a win, I guess, right? Jonah is saying, shout out to Megan, the Hawk fan extraordinaire. Well said, Jonah. No question. Holy hand grenade. Megan funding the NFC West Roundtable. Oh, my God. Appreciate you, holy hand. Ernie, can we talk about how well Kobe Turner played? He was putting Zabel in a blender all night. Any thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah, he was sensational. And the big man interception, that should have ended the game. So yeah, he was awesome. Aside from him, I wasn't overly impressed with that pass rush, but Brandon and I did a preview before the game, and I also pointed out that I wasn't overly impressed with the pass rush this year. I think that's one of their biggest weaknesses. So yeah.
Kobe with also the pick. He deserves $20 million a year from the Rams.
I don't know if he deserves $20 million, but he's a damn good player, and they're going to have some tough decisions to make. That's for damn sure.
Matt dropping off some holiday lemonade for the boys, saying Merry Christmas to all you guys. I know we all aren't of the same faith, but for me, Jesus Christ is the reason for the season. Santa Claus is a pretty cool cat too. Go Rams. Well said, Matt. We hope you have an awesome Christmas, my man. We really appreciate you stopping by all throughout the episode here. Mark Sanchez, who is on fire, saying just to think Shaheed could have been a Ram. You know who he could have been, Mark? He could have been a Bill. And he could have been the wide receiver 1 for the Buffalo Bills. But instead, he's out making extraordinary plays and making Jake have to wear a beanie. You know, a whole different world we'd be living in right now, Jake, perhaps, if JSN didn't go there. What do we have here, Brando?
Sorry, I was just had to check something on the door real quick.
I thought you were going to grab your Shaheed jersey, to be 100% honest.
No, I should. I would. I need to. He's been awesome. And you guys, if you would have got him, I think it would have made a big difference for you, especially if Devontae Adams, depending on what goes on with that hamstring, it would have given you some insurance.
Mumble's dropping off a little more holiday lemonade for the fellas. Shout outs to the 3% Cards fans in here. Be sure to call the others when you guys are good. On an unrelated note, do you guys like the over for Lions, Vikings, and or Bucks and Dolphins at 44.5? We got to help Mumbles build a parlay here.
The over. Vikings don't have McCarthy, right? And he can be out this week?
Yeah, I would say he's not going to play this week. So no, I don't like the over on that one at all.
Yeah. And then the Dolphins are just they're
playing Quinn Ewers. Yeah. Listen, I don't like Tua. Tua's garbage, but he can put up points from time to time. I would say no on either one of them.
Yep, go with the under on both of those, Mumbles.
Same.
And
I would just stay away from those games. I mean, the Lions. What's the over on the Lions and Vikings game? The Lions might score that.
Yeah, they could.
That's the one way to it. You're right about that. Yeah,
they're going to be so pissed, man. The way they
I don't
lost.
like either of those two. Yeah.
By the way, Mumbles just became a member. How about a little love, a little round of applause there?
Thank you, Mumbles.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mumbles. You're awesome, man.
Black. What do we got here? Black Thought, Brown Dreams. Ayuk doing 90 miles an hour past Levi State. Yeah, what the hell was that, Jesse?
Dude,
what is going on there?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think he's going to be a Ram anymore.
I never thought he was going to be a Ram. He definitely is going to be playing with Jaden Daniels with Washington next year.
Ooh, all right.
Receivers are so weird.
Very.
They're so weirdly wired. Just weird.
Yeah, you got to have a little diva in you to have the dog in you.
I guess you do.
Put that on a shirt there, Jay. That might be a shirt right there. Dylan's saying if there's a third match with the Rams and the Hawks, Sam's going to go off. Rams D sitting underneath and on sticks. Double moves, double moves, double moves. Danielle Bailey. Saw Bear in end zone must be a ghost because Sam D saw him. Ooh.
That was a great play call. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
block and release, wide open. You just got to tip your cap at that point.
Totally agree. That was an incredible call in the moment.
I got to say, though, back to your Rams, too. Sorry, I know we're going trying quick, but back to give your Rams props in that one. Take away what you think are the two likely options on that play with a sub-double team to Barner and JSN. I like where they're going at it from there because Sam can sometimes get hyper concentrating on that one target. He wants to predetermines where he wants to go with the ball. So it's kind of a counter to a counter to a counter a little bit is what I'm trying to say a bit there.
I didn't love the double team, but I'll give you that.
Fred saying everyone's hating on the Rams tells me we are doing something right. Yeah, you don't have haters if you're not doing a little something right for sure, Freddie. No doubt. Mumble's back in, dropping off a little bit of a holiday pie here. Maybe what do we got here? Maybe a blueberry pie.
Boysenberry.
Yeah, boysenberry. Man, I haven't seen that video in forever. Deep cut there, Jake. Mumbles is saying Colts have some interesting calls go their way with the refs. Saw some with the 49ers too. Not to belabor a point to Jake, but stop redacted over the game. A tough loss. See ya in either the divisional or the NFC championship. Much love to all ya and much love to you, Mumbles. Really appreciate it. On fire. New member, Mumbles dropping off a couple super chats. Thanks so much. Danielle, Rams were literally placed in the playoffs last year. I think this is what you were referring to a little bit earlier there. Who was saying this?
Well, no, it's just that's where with that play that went down at the end of the game, it affected us one way. It's a big play. It ended up changing our whole perspective of our season, just as an example there. He's talking about the catch with Witherspoon on the interception there at the end of the year.
Dylan's asking he's asking me, saying, Z-Bot, game of the year, Bills, Ravens, or Seahawks, Rams. I'll put my bias aside because this game was a playoff game. This game was for perhaps the division and the 1 seed. I mean, Bills, Ravens was unbelievable. I still think it's neck and neck with this game, but because of what was on the line, I think I'm going to have to lean towards Seahawks, Rams in this game, in this one.
That Packers-Bears game was pretty damn good, too.
Yeah.
This same weekend.
Yeah, that game was unbelievable. And
Great games this weekend.
And the funny thing is both those games felt like they were going to be duds towards the end there. It just felt like you were kind of watching the game kind of go to its end, and they completely wound up flipping on a dime. Dylan saying, in all seriousness, Seattle should have won the first game, and the Rams should have won the second game. Let's move on. We are even. Go Hawks. We talked about it a little bit earlier where both fan bases kind of felt one way in both those games. That's why if we get a third, it's going to be epic. Roger, who's been a member for a month, saying, my comment was based more on the fact that you're always a class act to you, Brandon, for the pregame lives with Jake, and now you get a W and you want to pull the receipts. Well, I think it's a good thing you got the receipts, though, instead of just talking out of your bum.
And putting the receipts, and Z-Bot can attest to this, Roger, I wasn't going to show any of that stuff. So I wasn't planning on having to show it. I was only going to bring it up if Jake was going to hardline in on the refs. And Z-Bot can call me a liar right now if I'm BSing, but I was perfectly happy just saying, hey, we got the win. Jake's being magnanimous, but if you're going to point to those plays, then we got to have the counter, and it's not going to come down to necessarily just my word against your word when I actually got something video that we can lay it out to you guys and let you guys kind of decide out there.
Yeah, let me see where I'm reading what Brandon said here. He said, yo, Z-Bot, show these no matter what. Love, Brandon.
I had no issue with it. I think our show, as great as it is, needed some fire. So on the drive, I had 3 hours on the way back in a blizzard to get here. So no, I wasn't dodging this show. I had a lot of time to think, and I was like, I could just be like, yeah, it's good. I'm over it, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to say everything that's on my mind. I'm glad it did. I think it made for a better show.
I think we all agree. It's been an absolute banger of an episode. Reckoning saying, all I hear is Seahawks crying about Derek Hall getting suspended for a dirty play. Any crying on that end, Jake or Brandon?
I mean, it's hard to determine on that you can absolutely for certain say that he's trying to step on him. His right foot is planted underneath the man that's landed on him. So his off foot, he's trying to find a plant down. They determined, I've watched the play 30 times. I don't know how you necessarily determine intent when it's all just bang, bang. The guy got thrown into his legs. He's a 320-pound man laying in front of him. There's not a lot of free spaces to step when your other foot is pinned underneath the guy. But it is what it is. He appealed it, and they've said that that's what they determined. So
if he did it on purpose, he's a piece of shit, and he should be kicked out of the league. Is that fair?
Yeah, but that's one where it's one where you got to have some pretty good evidence to get to that place of things, right? Just like a suspending of this guy without pay. He loses a whole paycheck. Before you're going to pull that, it's one thing if it's a Ndamukong Suh who's got a background of doing it, and you've got now a hero play and hero play. This guy's got no background of doing this type of stuff. He's not got no history of doing it. So why isn't there any benefit of the doubt that it just suddenly reaches to instantaneous suspension? You want to fine him a little bit, fine, but suspension felt a little bit over the top.
Mike Jackson saying, this is the first time all season that Seahawks fans have led the poll. Go Rams. Shout out to the Hawks fans showing up in droves tonight. Dylan in yet again. Seahawks have the only successful 2-point conversion in OT in NFL history. Wow. I did not know that. That's crazy. If true, that's nuts. Wow. Forever faithful. All I hear is Rams fans continuing to cry when things don't go their way. Couple of glasses of lemonade being dropped off here. Mumbles is saying, Mike, how's your day going over there? Also redacted the no words for you, Jake. Love you, man. 1,000 yards of offense. That game is crazy. Next game's going to be a 6-9 slug match. Can you imagine?
It's the way it works, man. You get all those people being like, oh, I'm going to take the over. He's going to go for 400 yards, and then ends up being 12-9 your final.
Yeah, well, there's significantly less scoring the first time around, that's for sure. Jordan saying, Jake, by rule, that was a 2-point conversion. A lateral pass is not a fumble by rule and is a live ball. Your argument is for the refs not to do their job based on the time slots. I think that the argument's more so the inconsistency here. You just never know when you can use it, when you can't, how long it takes to get these rules implemented. I think that's what we're talking about here, and the NFL needs to do a much better job at ushering in what this looks like on a weekly basis.
It's been multiple times. I mean, you guys were at the Rams 49ers game. The Rams have gotten hosed on those, whistles all year. And so, they got hosed on the Isaac Warendo fumble. They blew the whistle way too early. They got hosed on the Jalen Hurts push. And it's one of those things where we complain about it, but then we move on, and then it just doesn't get any better. So I think for a lot of Rams fans, I think we're just really tired of these early whistles. It's just gotten to be a little ridiculous, and you can point back to it's happened 4 or 5 times this year. That's all.
Danielle saying, Jake talking about Ernest crying when he has been whining for the past 4 days. Speaking of online bravery, Jake, say that to Ernest's face.
Well, I'll say anything to anybody's face. I'm fearless. I don't care. Like, if I wanted to say it to Ernest Jones, I would. I mean, I'm not insulting his family. I just thought it was a little ridiculous how he was like almost in tears. Like, they were making fun of us in the third quarter. Like, dude, shut up. It's so ridiculous.
Say
Those
whatever
guys
you
were
want,
laughing in our faces. Like, whatever.
Just don't call DK by his government name. You can say whatever else you want. Just don't say that. Michael saying, man, I love this division. Merry Christmas, you guys. And a Merry Christmas to you as well, Michael. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas,
Michael.
The Hawks Eye Bryce dropping
off
Bryce. A tangerine for Christmas. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone, and a Merry Christmas to you as well. Bryce, love the show, guys. You do amazing work. I can't wait for the Seahawks versus Niner matchup and the back and forth between Brando and Jesse. I think you speak for all of us there, Bryce.
Thank you, Bryce. I appreciate you, man. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Bryce.
Glad everything's going well with you, too.
We are soon approaching that banter, Bryce, so lock in. It's going to be a fun next couple of weeks. Ski Nation. Remember when the Rams corner smashed into the Saints wide receiver for the Super Bowl? Pepperidge Farm remembers. So does Brando. He had that submitted into evidence early on here. Little holiday lemonade from Purdy Good. Everyone needs to take etiquette lessons from Mike. Look at him. He sits there so respectful. He smiles a lot. He's just so happy to be here. We love you, Mike.
Appreciate it.
Purdy loves it.
What you don't know is there's a bubbling, frothy volcano of hot magma beneath the surface that's just waiting to be unleashed.
I mean, we accepted our fate. I mean, maybe next year I'll puff my chest up, but there's nothing I can do now. It is what it is.
Next year, baby. Next year. Duce dropping lemonade off, saying Seahawks did well to split with LA. It's still Rams' house in the end. We shall see. Nitsu. At least we can all laugh at the Cowboys for getting eliminated. Merry Christmas. Love how you find the silver lining there, Nitsu. Well done. Happy holidays, says Freddie K. And a very happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Freddie.
To you as well, Freddie. Thanks so much for the support all year long. Levi saying, hey guys, Merry Christmas. And a Merry Christmas to you as well, Levi. Levi saying, I have 3 similar dumb questions to Brandon, but would like to hear the table's opinion. You guys are awesome. This is 1 of 4 here. Okay, wow. So we're going to spread this out a little bit. Levi saying, how do you feel about Mike being defensive head coach against McVay's offensive head coach and Kyle offensive head coach? Would you have preferred an offensive head coach like Brandon Johnson, Brandon?
I think Ben Johnson's going to be a very good coach in this. Yeah, he's going to be a good coach in this league, but I think that McVay and Shanahan are special coaches. And I think Mike McDonald is showing the signs of also being a special coach. So I have to choose between having a good offensive core or good head coach that's an offensive-minded guy, or have a special coach, albeit a defensive head coach. I'll take the special one. I want the high side. And I think that's what the Hawks did go for in this case with him. So I would still prefer Mike.
Levi's also asking, do you like that in these rivalries, Seahawks versus Rams or San Francisco, that the strengths fight strengths and weaknesses fight weaknesses, whereas Rams versus San Francisco is straight fights?
I think it's just kind of talking out like the Rams offense against the Hawks defense. When you get the Rams, you get on the 49ers, it's offense on offense kind of is where he's at the heart with that. Yeah, I do, because we to my point, Shanahan and McVay are special head coaches, and you're watching the highest of chess matches being executed. This is Bobby Fischer against a Russian computer. I mean, it is as good as it gets. And so if you love football, this is what you strap in for.
No question about it. Dylan is saying Jesse must be dreaming about Darnold. He hates on him. Oh, he loved him last week.
Fan base, the 49ers fan base says the same thing about Purdy. I just call it how I see it. I don't know what to tell you.
Michael coming in. That wasn't supposed to be a stray at Mike, by the way. I don't think
love Mike as a
no doubt, no question. Daniel saying Jake should be mad at Perna's curse wheel.
I told you, Jake. Correct. I told you it's undefeated, that thing.
I don't believe in that shit, but let's say it's real. I'm glad the Broncos lost, and they lost convincingly against an actual good team.
Right back at you, Perna.
So
shout out to Perna. One of the best channels on YouTube, by the way. Tommy Huxley, Jake was eating the wrong food, not by Chef Tommy. And Tommy's also saying, when was the last time the Niners punted? November 30th. Yeah, that offense.
Only team in NFL history to have 80-plus points over 2 games and no punts.
Wow. Offense is humming. How about that Purdy guy? He's pretty good. Speaking of Purdy, T Guns is saying, Jake, you like my shirt?
Damn.
He's got you all Niner down. This is so good.
Oh my God.
Who needs a hat bet when you have Photoshop? We have Adrian Cortez, Dirty Hawks player, should be out as long as Dotson. That's referring back to the suspension we were talking about a little earlier.
Yeah, Dodson didn't get hurt on that. He got hurt before, as he's getting just a moment before. It's tripping, gets kind of caught up in the legs as there's like a stunt being run there, and that's where he got technically injured.
Hawks Bryce, by the way, who dropped by earlier, he became a member. So awesome.
Thanks, Bryce.
Brandon he gave me a little double tap on that applause.
I know it's getting worn out a little bit, I guess. Huh? Yeah.
We have worn out the living hell of that applause button.
I mean, it's over 120 super chats, I think.
I can't even believe what we're going through.
Maybe 150. I don't know. I've lost count.
How could you keep count? This is absolutely insane. Joseph, I don't care if Brock wins a Super Bowl. He is and always will be a bum.
Damn.
Oh my God.
One thing Niner fans don't have is a light opinion about their quarterback position.
I'll tell you what, or their coach half the time too. We haven't gotten a Lyle mention.
No Lyles this year, though.
I know.
Brock's getting to that point where he's become like Jalen Hurts, where everything he does is under a microscope, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, it's because you go to a Super
Hey,
Bowl, right?
we got Mom in the house. Mom's in the house here.
Hey.
There you go, Mom. I love you.
Wow. Shout out to Brandon's mom. That was such a big W. Brandon's mom is stopping in to fly with the 12s. How about that?
That's
Brandon's
cool.
mom saying, love listening to the roundtable banter. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to Brandon's mom. How about that?
Your mom says Merry Christmas, but literally,
Merry Christmas to Brandon's mom.
Thank you
Merry
so much.
Christmas.
That is great. By the way, when these names are all under or lowercase, I've been butchering them. I have been saying Jonah. It's clearly John Naylor. Yeah, it's John.
I did
Naylor.
Joanna to him a couple weeks ago. How bad do you feel about that?
What is going on, John? It won't happen again until it happens again. I'm sorry, brother. Listen, Jonah, I appreciate the super chat, and we'll get you next time, Joanna. I appreciate it. I'm just kidding.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, appreciate you, Johnny. Jordan is saying, I think we can all agree the refs are a little cue famous Tropic Thunder Robert Downey Jr. quote. Yeah, there needs to be, I think there's just no denying it. There needs to be a major overhaul to a lot of things this offseason. This game is just one example of many. On a weekly basis, you can find a roundtable talking about some BS that happened in any given game.
They should have to be at a presser and have to interview, because if players who, everyone is there to see, and coaches have to go through that right after, why are refs off the cuff? I don't understand that. I've never understood that. But yeah, I think they should have to answer questions at the end.
Man, Mumbles is really putting together a hell of a parlay here. He needs to know, Mike, if you got the over-under on this Cards-Bengals game.
40 plus. Yeah, over.
Yeah. Okay. There you go, Mumbles.
I got
put it
barely
in.
over. Wait.
Yeah.
No.
Hopefully,
hopefully
I
had
Mumbles gets some
44.
Christmas winnings. All right, 44. All right. So we'll see. We got a couple of unders that we predicted there. So we'll see if Mumbles can cash. Tommy saying, Miss Megan, run this chat. Love you. Yeah, Miss Megan running things on a Christmas Eve over there in Australia.
Let's go,
tonight.
Meg.
And last but not least, we just read 4,675 super chats. This is 4,676. Joseph is saying, I'd rather be a Cardinals fan than a Niners fan. As a Niners fan, it's like your fiance have a great relationship. F's the best man. And that happens over and over.
Sheesh.
I can't think of a better way to end the show. Just a terrific super chat to end off the holiday episode of the NFC West Roundtable. 2.5 hours in the books, well over 1,000 of you live with us each and every step of the way. Nearly 200 super chats, folks. You guys are second to none. You are the absolute best. And with that, we want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. And we can't wait to see you next week, same time, same place, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable. But for tonight, that's going to do it. For Brando, Jake, Jesse, and Mike, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning into the NFC West Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.